Thanks very much indeed, Steve. Yes, just to recap the earlier team news in case you didn't hear it. No Jack Grealish for Aston Villa. He's out injured, although it doesn't seem like it's going to be too long term, according to what Dean Smith was saying earlier. Hopeful that he could be back in the next week or so. We knew that Matty Cash was also missing, having picked up a hamstring strain, so El Ghazi and El Mohammadi are into the Villa side. Martinez in goal, Targett, Mings, Concert and El Mohammadi. The back line, McGinn and Luis just behind Ross Barkley, with El Ghazi and Traore either side of Ollie Watkins. I'll run you through the Leicester team in just a minute, but we are about to get underway. Aston Villa in the claret and blue, kicking from right to left in this first half. Michael Oliver, by the way, is the referee. He had a eventful afternoon as the VAR official for the game between Burnley and West Brom, when there were some fingers pointed in his direction for not having another look at a pretty strong penalty appeal for Burnley in that game, as all of the players here at Villa Park take a knee, along with the match officials and coaching staff. Gives me a chance before the action gets underway to quickly tell you about the Leicester team news, and two changes for them as well from the Liverpool game. Castagna's back after 5 games out with a hamstring injury. Thomas also coming in. Albrighton and Amati move to the bench. Clinton Morrison alongside me, and a smile on his face at Villa Park because there are no fans inside today.
Yeah, because if there was fans, they'd definitely be having a go at me. But I think we've moved on from that now. They're having a great season, Aston Villa, but they will be missing Jack Grealish today.
Here's Ricardo for Leicester, already advancing towards the edge of the penalty area. Looks for the give and go with Tielemans. Gets it back, Ricardo, edge of the area, goes for goal. Emi Martinez got his body behind it. Decent hit, though, from Ricardo from about 20 yards out.
Yeah, it's a good start. And Ricardo usually plays as a fullback. He's going to play just ahead of Castagna on this right-hand side. That's why he's coming for Albrighton. But he's good enough, because last season he was one of the best fullbacks going forward. He's a brilliant player. But it was a good combination play between him and Tielemans there.
Yeah, I mentioned the changes for Leicester. I didn't give you the formation just to start off with, because we were wondering how it was going to pan out, and in front of Schmeichel, the back four of Castagna, Soyuncu, Evans and Thomas, with Ricardo in the midfield alongside Ndidi and Tielemans. Maddison tucked in behind Vardy, with Harvey Barnes out on the left-hand side. It's back with Emi Martinez for Aston Villa. They're 0-0 on 5 Live's Premier League Sunday here between Aston Villa and Leicester. Earlier on, West Ham beat Tottenham Hotspur by 2-1. 2 more commentaries to come for you as well. Arsenal against Manchester City and Manchester United against Newcastle United. Throw then for Aston Villa, left-back position taken by Matt Targett. And Villa have seen possession turned over very quickly. It's a bright start, this, from Leicester. Barnes feeds it through for Jamie Vardy, who chasing, can't quite get there. Just nudged off it by Tyrone Mings, who did well to get his body between Vardy and the ball. Yeah,
it's good movement. It's good play. Good ball from Ndidi into Barnes. Al-Hamidi lets him turn. He slides in. A great movement from Vardy, but good defending from Mings. Matched him and showed him a bit of body strength, and then gave him a little smile as well. I saw them smiling after together. Yeah, good start from Leicester so far. Aston Villa won the reverse fixture in October by 1-0. Ross Barkley with a late winner in that one. It was Villa's first win in 6 Premier League meetings. On the back foot early on, as Emi Martinez, in front of the empty Holt End stand, plays it short to Mings. He's allowed to advance to about 10 yards shy of the halfway line. Goes wide to Targett. And now it's all the way back to Douglas Luiz, who's by the D of the Villa penalty area. Conser then sends it long upfield, looking for Ollie Watkins. Watkins can't get there, and Leicester pump it long. El Mohammadi's back there to mop things up, but Leicester have won possession back midway inside the Villa half. Still 0-0 early on here at Villa Park, and Leicester making the brighter start. Johnny Evans just over the halfway line for Leicester, all in blue this afternoon. Allowed to wear their home kit with Villa in the claret and blue. It's wide to the crossing position for Castagna on the right side for Leicester, and put behind for the first corner of the game. Yeah, Leicester have started ever so well. Villa can't get out of their half at the moment, and that is where they're going to miss Jack Grealish, because times like this he can take you up the pitch, attract 3 or 4 players towards you. But you have to credit Leicester. They've started ever so well. Castagna, Thomas, the fullbacks getting forward, and it was just good defending again from Mings there. So corner for Leicester, who won the last Premier League game here by 4-1, their joint biggest league win at Villa Park. Vardy with a couple that afternoon, with Grealish getting the consolation goal on the day for Leicester. No Jack Grealish today
because of a leg injury. So corner kick then for Leicester with almost 4 minutes on the clock. James Maddison is going to take it right-footed, so it'll be an outswinger from the right wing as Leicester look at things. Maddison got his boot fully behind that. Evans went down the area and the hit comes in and it's deflected just wide. Well, it was all happening there. Evans went down asking for a penalty. Luke Thomas had the shy at goal and the deflection took it wide for another corner.
Yeah, and I think the deflection helps. I think the deflection and the ball hits the outside of the post, but it's a good chance for Thomas.
This is a really strong start for Leicester, still 0-0, but they are asking all the questions. Pumped in by Luke Thomas from just outside the area. Villa have cleared it half away. Soyuncu puts it back into a dangerous area. Johnny Evans goes over asking the question once again. And Aston Villa could just do with taking their time over this goal kick to try and regroup, because they are firmly on the back foot.
Yeah, it's been a good start. And that's what you get with Leicester. They're always on the front foot, and that's how Brendan Rodgers can set his team up. They can be counter-attacking and they can be on the front foot. So he'll be happy with the start. But Dean Smith will want Martinez to just take his time at the moment, because they have been under a lot of pressure so far.
Brendan Rodgers just moves out to the edge of his technical area. Little round of applause for his players as Dean Smith goes out to give some stern instructions to his players. Dean Smith actually studied for his UEFA Pro licence alongside Brendan Rodgers in 2008, and his opposite number is the happier man at the moment. But Ollie Watkins has chased the ball down the left-hand channel and then tried to lay it off for Anwar El Ghazi, who was arriving. The pass wasn't ideal and Leicester clear their lines. First foray into Leicester territory, though, for Aston Villa.
Yeah, and Dean Smith usually stands right where we are, Mark. So he's walked down the steps because he's not happy. He usually stands there where John Terry is to your right. And they could probably hear our commentary because we've done it many a times. But he's gone downstairs because he ain't happy. But it was a good run that from Ollie Watkins, and he'll have to do that to get Aston Villa up the pitch this afternoon. Yeah,
that is one of the issues with no fans inside the stadium, is that people can hear some of the comments that are forthcoming, and it can be a bit awkward if one side is having a bit of a stinker. Leicester are enjoying the early stages here, and it's brought forwards by Harvey Barnes. Good surging run over halfway, forced across to the left-hand side of the pitch where he loses possession of the ball, and Aston Villa could just do with keeping their foot on the ball. John McGinn, normally a man who can do that. He offloads to target, left-back area. Fast pass up towards El Ghazi, can't control it. Leicester throw 0-0.
Yeah, El Ghazi just lost his foot in there, Mark. You would think he needs to have a good game, because obviously it's big shoes he's coming into. No one ain't comparing him to Jack Grealish, but you want a good start, and if your first touch is not good, he hopes his second one will be even better.
Johnny Evans just inside his own half, flat pass into James Maddison, who goes short to Tielemans. He's crunched by John McGinn, but shows good strength to shrug off the challenge and work it out to the left side, where Barnes was hoping to get on the end of it. It was initially cut out by El Mohammadi. He gave the ball away, though. Bit scrappy in centre field at the moment. Soyuncu wins a header against Watkins, goes down as a result of the challenge. Play goes on, and Leicester have it with Barnes on the left wing. Barnes up against El Mohammadi, and he'll take the throw out of the fullback.
There's a lot of good battles today, you know. You're thinking Harvey Barnes against El Mohammadi, because Cash has been good, so it'd be difficult for El Mohammadi, and Barnes has been excellent so far this season. And then young Thomas against Traore. He's kind of now, over the last month and a half, I think, you know, showing his potential.
That's former Republic of Ireland international Clinton Morrison on 5 Live's Premier League Sunday. This the first of 3 live commentaries for you. Arsenal against Manchester City is a 4:30 kick-off, and Manchester United against Newcastle to come after that at 7 o'clock. Villa clear their lines from just outside their own area. It goes out for a throw to Leicester. I can see Gareth Southgate's only about 20 yards or so to our right-hand side. He'll be disappointed not to get to see Jack Grealish in action this afternoon, but perhaps an opportunity for James Maddison to stake a claim.
Yeah, definitely. Big opportunity. He's probably came to watch James and Gareth and a few of the other English players that are in this squad. But also, Mark, he's come to listen to watch me and you as well do our business. So don't rule that out.
He's number 1 in the Clinton Morrison fan club, is what I heard. Here is Soyuncu for Leicester. Works it all the way back to Kasper Schmeichel, who's in a mainly black goalkeeping attire this afternoon with a splash of green on it as well. Evans just outside his own penalty area for Leicester City. No pressure on the ball, so he can just roll his foot over it. Makes the gesture for someone to give him an option. No one really does, so he pumps it long into the right channel. Vardy was chasing, Mings there ahead of him. His clearance not ideal, though. Target now sends it further forwards. Ollie Watkins chasing this one. Had a look across to see if the flag was going to go up. It didn't. can't make anything of it though, and it just squirts through to Kasper Schmeichel, who plays the ball out with his feet. Why
Soyuncu didn't, even Wilfred Ndidi, just head it back to Kasper Schmeichel. It's such a difficult one to deal with. Another player you could be watching, Mark, is Ollie Watkins. Had a good season, you know, and if he can continue, he could make a late bid to get into that Euro squad.
Well, it's a good fixture for him to come and see, actually, Gareth Southgate, because Leicester and Aston Villa have had the most Premier League goals scored by English players this season. Leicester, 29 of them, and Villa, 24. Here is Barkley into the centre circle area, where McGinn tries to flick a ball forwards first time towards Watkins, cut out by Evans, and Villa have it back inside their own half with Mings. 0-0 with 9 minutes on the clock, and just the one save so far of note. Emi Martinez making the block from Ricardo, but Leicester's bright start has somewhat faded a little as Villa find their way into the game.
Yeah, they're growing into the game now, Mark. You are spot on. Dean Smith being down there bellowing, it always makes you as a player just like up your game if you started a bit slow.
Can't believe anyone ever bellowed at you, Clinton.
Oh, always. I'd bellow back at the manager, but then it'd have the last laugh, because if I don't do it, it'd jag me off, and I want to be playing football.
Here's Soyuncu for Leicester, allowed to carry the ball and play it into the path of Thomas on the left-hand side. He's released Harvey Barnes. Good pace from him to get into the area. Barnes still running, feints to shoot, then does go for goal, and the deflection takes the ball just out of the path of Maddison and Vardy, who are both arriving in the 6-yard box.
And he's another one. Harvey, but outstanding. It's great pace, and I think he'll be disappointed, because once he gets into that position, you're thinking just bend it around and Ezri Konsa, but it was good defending from Konsa, and he stood up really strong, and he didn't give him no room to bend it down. But Barnes, he's been good so far.
Yeah, Harvey Barnes looking lively. As soon as he got into the area there, Traore knew that he couldn't try to tackle him, because there was a likelihood he'd give away a penalty. Corner for Leicester then. 11 minutes gone, 0-0, but Leicester certainly making the better start to the game. Thomas by the corner of the penalty area, receiving the short corner. Villa put a good squeeze on him, so he has to go all the way back to the centre circle, where the ball is played to Ricardo outside the area. He's going to have another go at goal, and that one goes just over the top with the aid of a deflection. Well, he's certainly got his shooting boots on this afternoon, Ricardo.
Yeah, but I think Dean Smith will be disappointed. The amount of room Ricardo's got on the edge of the box. It's a good ball in from Castagna, and then El Hamadi eventually goes out, and you're thinking the deflection might go over Martinez, but it was a good block in the end from El Mohammadi.
So El Mohammadi's touch sends it behind for the corner kick to Leicester, who have been racking them up early on. 11.5 minutes played. Aston Villa 0, Leicester City 0. Short corner again from Maddison to Ricardo. Ricardo thought about the cross, plays a flat ball into Tielemans, who puts it in dangerously towards the penalty spot area. Some shouts for handball, nothing given, and the ball goes out off the covering Thomas just inside the Villa half for a throw to the home side.
Yeah, it's all been Leicester. I feel at the moment Dean Smith is down there because he's trying to get his team to get a foothold, or maybe make a few alterations on the pitch and tactical decisions, because at the moment Leicester are overrunning Aston Villa in all departments.
Dean Smith just saying something to Ollie Watkins while his centre forward was near enough for him to hear it, and Watkins gave something back, and Dean Smith cupped his ear, so not sure what he was saying to his manager, but certainly Dean Smith will want the pattern of this game to change, because Leicester are absolutely bossing it early on, although the score remains 0-0. Bertrand Traore, not seen too much from him, picks up the ball on the halfway line, full 360 turn from him, which actually allowed Thomas to nip in and make the challenge. So Leicester have it in the centre circle with Tielemans. Short pass to Maddison. So much confidence oozing from this Leicester side early on.
There is, but that comes from the manager. I think Brendan Rodgers is one of the best managers around in the Premier League at this precise moment. I think he improved players, and you can see all of the players that he's brought in, they buy into what he's doing, and that's why they're getting results at the moment.
Yes, Brendan Rodgers has made a very good start to life at Leicester. 37 Premier League wins in charge of the Foxes. Only Liverpool and Manchester City, both with 52, have more Premier League wins since his first game.
But that says it all. And them two are probably, maybe not this season, Liverpool, but obviously Man City and also Liverpool champions last year, two of the best that we've got in the Premier League.
Free kick for Leicester then, with almost a quarter of an hour played. James Maddison has it. It's tight to this right touchline as Leicester look at it. Good ball in from Maddison. Well defended though. Comes out to Ricardo. 20 yards out from goal. Central position. Villa had enough bodies back to force him to go backwards as suddenly the heavens open and the rain starts to teem down at Villa Park. It had been a decent day weather-wise so far. Cloudy overhead, not too cold, but now the rain really is starting to bucket down. Target in the left-back area for Aston Villa with a headed clearance which comes to McGinn, still deep in Villa territory. He tries to offload to El Ghazi and McGinn just turns around and I think says to Matt Target, why did you play me into a bit of trouble there?
Yeah, but he dealt with it well. He done well. He played it to El Ghazi, but good covering from Ndidi. I think Ndidi's really crucial to Leicester. He does that unsung hero in the midfield, and that is why a lot of teams have been watching him, but Leicester will keep hold of him because he's a top player.
That's the voice of Clinton Morrison on 5 Live's Premier League Sunday. 0-0 here between Villa and Leicester with 15 minutes on the clock. Still got Arsenal, Manchester City and Manchester United against Newcastle United to come for you in terms of live commentary. And then, of course, 6:06 as ever will follow that with Chris Sutton and Robbie Savage from 9 o'clock this evening. Tielemans dropping deep for Leicester to pick up the ball and then try to work it out to this right wing position for Ricardo to chase. Too much on the pass though, which allows Target to clear and find El Ghazi. Actually good run from El Ghazi, rode the first challenge from Castagna and then Tielemans came across to crunch him and put it out for a throw halfway inside the Leicester half, which Villa have taken quickly, but Barkley unreally challenged in a promising position, plays a fairly weak pass and Leicester have possession with Ndidi, who's forced back to goal. Bit of a risky pass to Tielemans because just outside his own area McGinn was snapping at his heels, rode it well and then floats it forward looking for Vardy to chase, who couldn't get there initially as Tyrone Mings made the challenge. The ball bounced for him, Konsa made the challenge, Vardy wanted the foul, Michael Oliver says no.
Oh, yeah, it was great play from Tielemans because McGinn was right behind him wanting to win the ball. He just turned away and then he nearly played an inch-perfect ball. Great movement from Vardy, but good defending from Mings.
So, 16 minutes played, 0-0. Leicester still looking the more dangerous. Maddison swivels 30 yards out from goal, trying to release Vardy with the quick pass through the centre, but it was blocked and Bertrand Traoré on the right side for Villa has it and then goes all the way back to El Mohammadi, who swings it upfield towards Ollie Watkins. Soyuncu with the anticipation to get a boot there ahead of Ollie Watkins, and Villa have it in centre field with Ross Barkley. Barkley takes a couple of touches, short pass in towards McGinn, exchanges passes with McGinn, who's by the centre circle, arced ball forwards for the chase here of El Ghazi and Watkins, and Watkins with a lovely back heel to find El Ghazi, who plays it in towards the centre. Traoré arriving, 2 Leicester players, Thomas and Tielemans, come across to fling their bodies in the way and block Bertrand Traoré.
Yeah, it's good play, good ball from John McGinn. You know, Ollie Watkins, he makes great runs. I think these Villa players love playing with him, and the back heel to El Ghazi is brilliant as well.
Early ball in from El Mohammadi, and down went Ollie Watkins asking for a penalty after he was challenged in there, but nothing forthcoming from Michael Oliver, and he hasn't also made the symbol for play to be halted while anything is checked. So Traoré picks up the ball from this throw-in. Barkley has it. It was crossing position wide on the right, but he was closed down quickly by Ndidi, so he's switched it across to Target on the left for Villa. He has to go back into the centre circle to find Mings. Still 0-0 between Aston Villa and Leicester City at Villa Park with 17 minutes played. But it's been a good watch, Clint.
Very good watch, and going back to that chance there, that is great defending from Thomas. Looking at the replay, Traoré did get there first and Thomas made a good block from that play from Aston Villa, but it has been a really entertaining game so far. Yeah,
a good 0-0 so far. Here are Leicester with Soyuncu just outside his own area, and no pressing on him, so he can play a pass unopposed to Johnny Evans, and they exchange the ball once again. No pressure on the ball.
No, they will let Soyuncu and Evans have it, but then when they get to a certain area in the pitch, you'll then go and press. They have to go together, and that's what most teams do in the Premier League now. They'll wait, and then when they think they're all set and ready to go, Mark, they just go and press all together, and that's what teams do in the Premier League. That's what Villa do, and that's what Leicester do to teams as well.
So it's a throw for Aston Villa on halfway, 18 minutes gone, and Leicester having the better of the game, with Emi Martinez making a smart save from Ricardo, and Ricardo going close another time as well. Barnes got into the area, his pass almost came to Vardy and Maddison. Here's Traore for Aston Villa. Plays it across the target on the halfway line for Villa. Into the feet of El Ghazi. Quickly closed down by Castagna. Looking for the 1-2 from McGinn. It was slightly overhit by McGinn, which allows Castagna to find Ricardo. Very tight to this right touchline. Now it's Tielemans. Bit of time to swing a ball up towards Jamie Vardy, who's unlikely to win that in the air ahead of Konsa. The ball is dropped, though, for Barnes outside the area. Maddison, edge of the box, goes for goal and scores. Lovely finish from James Maddison. Rolled it flat in off the post. A very measured finish. It has been coming. It's Aston Villa 0, Leicester City 1.
Yeah, it's a good ball from Tielemans. But you know what? El Hamadi comes in and tries to help Konsa, and Konsa's already dealing with Vardy. Then the ball falls to Barnes. Barnes plays it to Maddison. You give Maddison that much space and time on the edge of the box. It's a really good finish, and Gareth Southgate sitting just beside us will be pleased with that. And that is the form he's in at the moment. He knows Maddison, he has to add more assists or more goals to make that England squad, and he's doing that at the moment. But brilliant goal. Great finish from Maddison. He bends it round Tyrone Mings, and Martinez has got no chance.
Well, no English midfielder has recorded more goal involvements this season than Grealish or Maddison. That is now 7 goals in his last 14 Premier League games for James Maddison, and was looking forward to Maddison and Grealish both featuring today. Maddison taking his opportunity in the spotlight under the watchful gaze of Gareth Southgate.
Yeah, definitely. That's what he can do. Listen, England are sport with choices. There's a lot of talented players in that position where James Maddison wants to play. The likes of Foden, the likes of Jack Grealish, Mason Mount. There's so many that we can pick in. England can pick in that position. So all he's got to do is just keep doing what he's doing for Leicester and hope that opportunity will come in the Euros.
Villa 0, Leicester 1, 20 minutes played. Leicester on course for another away win. Their form on the road has been excellent. Only Manchester United have won more points on their travels than Brendan Rodgers' side. 27 points and 8 wins away from home. It's their highest amount ever in the top division in both categories after 12 games of the campaign. And what do Aston Villa need to do to try and get themselves a foothold in this game, Clinton?
See, it's difficult because they are creating chances. You saw it with Ollie Watkins. I think they need to keep spinning the ball in behind. I think he's got the pace to trouble Sayunchai and Johnny Evans, but he's going to need support. And you know, sometimes when a game's like this, you need that brilliance from that player. And listen, no one can replace Jack Grealish. They were going to miss him, but it's time for other players to step up to the mark. We said it earlier on. El Ghazi, Barkley, Traore, they're the ones that need to help Ollie Watkins, because if they're going to get back into it, they're the players that are going to help them get back into this game.
Clinton Morrison with us here at Villa Park on 5 Live's Premier League Sunday. Villa trailing by a fine James Maddison goal to nil that was scored a short time ago. Still to come, Arsenal against Manchester City and Manchester United against Newcastle, as well as 6:06 with Robbie Savage and Chris Sutton. Ricardo's picked up the ball 25 yards out from goal, goes for goal, and Emi Martinez leaps across and clutches the ball out of the air and drags it down to his body. Chances continuing to come for Leicester.
You're right, Mark. And it's again Ricardo Pereira. He's not staying on the right hand side. He's coming off the line and coming into little pockets. So it's either Douglas Luiz needs to pick him up, or John McGinn, or Matt Targett has to go with him, because then eventually Matt Targett's not marking anyone. But those little pockets that Pereira's picking up is causing Aston Villa a lot of problems.
Leicester looks so assured, so confident in possession, just stroking the ball around with a real swagger, and Tielemans has launched it long, looking for Castagna on this right wing. Brendan Rodgers will be absolutely pleased as punch with the way the game has gone so far. Yeah,
definitely. It's gone according to plan. Obviously, you can see Leicester are full of confidence at the moment, and it's even more confident when you see the team sheet and there's no Grealish.
It's broken for Tielemans here, just outside the area, tried to play it in towards Barnes. Vardy with the hit, save, Barnes on the rebound, 2-0. Leicester running away with it early on. Harvey Barnes quickest to react after Martinez could only parry the initial effort, and midway through the first half, it's Villa 0, Leicester 2.
they're running riot, and you can see Barkley and McGinn are talking to each other. In midfield, they're getting overrun. Look, Tielemans just runs off Ross Barkley, and it's too easy. He runs off Ross Barkley, plays a good ball into Harvey Barnes, and then Vardy reacts quickly, and then Harvey Barnes even reacts even quicker. It's been poor from Aston Villa so far, haven't got started, and this game, I'm not saying it's over at 2-0, but it could be over if they get the next goal, because it's been a brilliant start from Leicester.
Yeah, Villa switched off from the throw there, which was pretty criminal, and it allowed Tielemans to play the ball in. Vardy's swivel and hit was parried by Martinez. I think he'll look at himself and feel he should have either held on to the ball or cleared it to safety, but credit to Harvey Barnes for the speed of his reaction and a clinical finish from him into the roof of the net. And with 24 minutes played, it's Villa 0, Leicester 2. A long way back for Aston Villa in this one, especially given that they don't have Jack Grealish to create the opportunities for them.
Yeah, he has that effect on this team. When he's not in the team, I'm not saying that's the reason why Leicester are winning 2-0, but that does help, because going forward they haven't been good enough at this precise moment, Aston Villa. But also in midfield, Tielemans, I think, and Ndidi are dominating them, as you saw there with Tielemans running off Ross Barkley.
Here goes Target on the left side for Villa, in towards the feet of Ollie Watkins, who's been feeding off scraps early on and can't make anything of that as Soyuncu takes it off his toes. Tielemans infield to Harvey Barnes. Leicester looks so hungry at the moment, as well as assured in possession. Thomas, left back area, spins away from Traore, feeds Harvey Barnes. He's quickly closed down by El Mohammadi, so Leicester rather go all the way back to their keeper Kasper Schmeichel, who has to rush out to prevent the ball actually going behind for a corner. Hurried clearance from him, throw to Villa, level with the Leicester box. Yeah,
Thomas thought, he ain't doing nothing, Kasper Schmeichel, I'm just going to send it a bit short, and he did well, Kasper, to keep it in and kick it out for a throw-on instead of a corner.
How would you feel if you were Ollie Watkins at the moment, Clinton? Because it's been a tough task for him at the moment.
Yeah, I'd be really frustrated, really frustrated. I'd be saying to my players in and around me to get closer to me, because they're not close enough. Ross Barkley, El Ghazi and Traore, I would want them closer to me.
OK, let's go racing now with John Hunt.
And I'm afraid to say, Mark, that as the Denman chase reaches its crescendo, the lustre of the day, the edge of the day, has been taken right off with, sad to report, a bad injury to a lovely horse called the Conditional. David Bridgewater's stable star seems to have suffered a very bad injury. So with 3 fences left to take, it's Secret Investor leading from the favourite Clan des Obeaux. Lost in Translation is trying to push him, and then Kalashnikov as they jump over the third last. They're clear of Cepage, and Terra 4 is tailed off completely. Secret Investor, Clan des Obeaux, Lost in Translation at the second last now, and over that safely. Secret Investor and Clan des Obeaux, these two stablemates have gone on. Lost in Translation, I'm afraid, really struggling to find any form. He's well beaten again today. Kalashnikov's gone into third at the final fence now. Secret Investor and Clan des Obeaux, the two stablemates, 4 lengths clear of Kalashnikov, who's still staying on. Secret Investor will not lie down in the hands of Bryony Frost. Clan des Obeaux trying to go past his stablemate. It's a ding-dong finish between the two of them, and as they hit the line, Secret Investor might well have battled back to beat Clan des Obeaux in what would go down as a big surprise. Kalashnikov third, Cepage in 4th place. Mark, as we go back to you, it's a photo finish. We'll have to confirm the result in a moment or two once the judges decided, but it looks as though Secret Investor might well have won the Denman chase. Meanwhile, is there any way back for Villa with you, Mark?
Thank you very much, John. Well, certainly not a photo finish here at the moment, because Leicester are 2-0 up and could easily have had more as well. Back with John a bit later on for the Boyne Hurdle at about 2:45. Tiger Roll making his comeback in that race for the 3rd time running. But it's Leicester making all the running here at the moment, and Villa struggling to really make any kind of dent in that Leicester back line. Ollie Watkins on the corner of the Leicester box tries to outmuscle Soyuncu, unable to do so, so Tielemans can pick up the pieces and play it infield to Ndidi. Barnes has Barkley for company and gets away from him and feeds Ricardo on this right wing, and Ricardo really is enjoying that role further forwards that he's playing in today.
No, he is. And you know what? They combine ever so well, him and Castagna. So, yeah, it's working ever so well. Just before that, when the racing was going on, it was great play. Villa tried to press Leicester, and they're so comfortable, Leicester, in possession, all their players. They just passed through them, and they ended up having an opportunity for James Maddison. That has to go huge credit to Brendan Rodgers, because the way he's got his team playing out from the back is superb.
Well, we heard from John a short time ago that they needed some clarification of the final positions, and John can bring us that now.
Secret Investor confirmed as the winner at 14-1, beating stablemate and favourite Clan des Obeaux by a short head. The winner there, ridden by Bryony Frost. And Mark, at half-time in the Villa-Leicester game, we'll have news of the dual Grand National winner, Tiger Roll, who's going to run shortly over hurdles at Navan Racecourse in Ireland. Thanks
very much indeed, John. Busy day of sport for you on 5 Live. Another 2 Premier League commentaries to come after this. Arsenal, Manchester City with John Murray and Karen Carney, Seb Hutchinson and Stephen Warnock will bring you Manchester United against Newcastle, followed by 6:06 with Robbie Savage and Chris Sutton as well. So Aston Villa looking to try and fight their way back into this game. They've been blown away by Leicester early on. Almost half an hour played. Villa 0, Leicester 2. Maddison and Barnes with both of the goals. And what can Dean Smith do about this, Clinton?
He just has to wait till his team settles. There's not really loads on the bench that you can really think of attacking-wise that could come on and really change the game. You can probably bring on Morgan Sanson, signing from Marseille, but to help shore up that midfielder. But they need to get back into it now, so that could probably happen just after half-time. But at the moment, I think he'll leave it. He trusts in these players. They've had a good season so far, Aston Villa, but they've been disappointing so far this afternoon.
So Villa trailing 2-0, and they've only picked up 1 point from losing positions in the Premier League this season, which is the lowest amount in the entire division. And it's going to be some effort for them to get anything out of this game, given the pattern of the opening half an hour here. And John McGinn has just slipped as he tried to seize upon a ball inside the Leicester half, and then committed a foul, so it'll be a free kick for Leicester midway inside their own half, which Chalha Soyuncu will take.
You know what the problem is, Traore, and it's hard for El Ghazi and Traore because Leicester's fullbacks push on ever so hard, ever so much, Mark, so they have to keep tracking them back, so it's been difficult for them to even get into this game.
It's Clinton Morrison on 5 Live's Premier League Sunday, with Leicester City in control here at Villa Park, leading by 2-0. Bertrand Traore with a nice piece of skill by the centre circle to roll away from one challenge, and then as Ndidi comes across to make another, he's fouled, Bertrand Traore.
Yeah, and they want to get him into the game. He's the one who needs to get into the game. He has got that bit of creativity in him that can unlock a defence.
Dean Smith in conversation with Craig Shakespeare, who obviously has strong links with Leicester City, manager of the Foxes in the past. Here is Watkins offloading to El Ghazi just outside the area, finds target, his first time ball in, charged down by Castagna, and it will be a Villa corner. Yeah,
good play, good ball up to Ollie Watkins, he secures it. El Ghazi makes a good run off him, plays it to target. Good defending from Castagna, but that's what Dean Smith will want. He knows Aston Villa have not, in the first half an hour, have not been nowhere near the Aston Villa that we've seen this season so far.
Well, a Leicester win would move them second and close the gap on Manchester City to 7 points as well, and that is the way it's looking with 31 minutes played. Villa do have a corner here though, which Barkley is going to take, and it's into the edge of the 6-yard box. Mings went up for it, Consta there as well. It's picked up on the far side by Douglas Luiz. That's a decent looking ball in, and Soyuncu got a very important touch on it to just clear it away. Jamie Vardy tries to complete the clearance, crashes it off Barkley. It will be a Leicester throw.
Yeah, I don't know if Konsa can get there. I think does he get there, or does Soyuncu get a good header? No, Konsa gets there, he should really be doing. He sees it right onto him, and it kind of mistimes his header. It's a good opportunity for Aston Villa. Look, he gets up and it hits the back of his back, so he jumps too early.
You'd have put that away.
Maybe. Heading wasn't my strong part, Mark, but I would have shut my eyes and just tried to direct the header.
You just use your head for your thinking on the pitch.
Exactly.
That's where the first couple of yards were.
Yeah, definitely.
Throw for Leicester then, right back area. Castagna takes it, lofts it long, and lofts it straight out of play, where it bounces just in front of Dean Smith, who takes a couple of paces towards the edge of his box and has an expression you'd expect him to have on his face, with his side trailing by 2-0 and second best for the main part of the game so far. Ball forwards for Ollie Watkins, who is offside, and Leicester in no hurry to get the game back underway. 33 minutes played at Villa Park. Villa 0, Leicester City 2, Maddison and Barnes with the goals for the Foxes. Here is Soyuncu playing it to the left side, and Thomas, who's made good ground and just about kept it in and got away from Bertrand Traoré, advancing now towards the Villa penalty area. Traore's fought back well though to wrestle possession off him, plays it forwards to McGinn, who rolls away from the challenge by Ndidi. Ndidi's just clipped him, and I think Michael Oliver has got the yellow card out for Wilfred Ndidi as a result of that challenge on McGinn.
Yeah, he was always going to do that. It's one of those fouls where you say it's a good foul, because I think McGinn was away and then it would have been 3-on-2 at the back. So yeah, that's what Ndidi does. He breaks up attacks. He now just has to be careful because he's on a yellow card.
So Villa have it with Traoré, closed down quickly by 2 Leicester players, forced all the way back to Mings, who now brings it forwards to the halfway line for Aston Villa. Still going here, Mings as well. Eventually Tielemans comes across to make the challenge. He finds target, lofted ball towards the edge of the area, and Soyuncu unopposed could have done a bit better with that, has sent it out for a throw to Villa, taken quickly by Target, finds El Ghazi, about 5 yards outside the Leicester box, looks for the give and go with Target. El Ghazi now, left side. Well, Target had made the run, but there were 4 Leicester players around that Target, so the odds were always against him, and Leicester were able to clear away. It's a throw for Villa, though, as a result, which Barkley will take, waits for somebody to give him an option, then decides actually he won't take the throw and rolls the ball to Matt Target, who will dispatch it instead. It's level with the Leicester box, throw into the body of Watkins, who's offloaded it to Barkley, got to the byline, but quickly across there was Ndidi to get his body in the way and send it behind for a corner.
He does that well, Ollie Watkins. The ball goes into him, it sticks. It's a clever little flick to Barkley. So I think he's key for them to get back into it. They need to get him into the game and get more support up into him, because he can cause them problems.
I think if Villa could go in 2-1 down at the break, Dean Smith would bite your hand off for that, given the way the game has gone at the moment. Barkley trying to get them that goal that would make it that scoreline with this corner, which is a deep one, too deep for anyone in claret and blue. Clearance comes to McGinn, who has a shy at goal, and it's a long way over the top from McGinn. Disappointing delivery, that.
Yeah, it was, and Soyuncu's header was even more disappointing, because he's headed right back into the danger on the edge of the box, but the ball's bouncing up there for John McGinn. It's a hard skill to score from there. Maybe his best option would have been to play it back out to Ross Barkley.
2 more commentaries to come for you. Arsenal, Manchester City, Manchester United against Newcastle, and Match of Day 2 tonight with all of the action on BBC One at 10:30. Mark Chapman, Alan Shearer and Dion Dublin will be in position for that. Here is Johnny Evans for Leicester, finding Castagna just shy of the halfway line. Ball forwards for Jamie Vardy to chase. We had that chat earlier about Jamie Vardy and him talking about how Brendan Rodgers has helped him to make the most of his current state of play by not chasing lost causes as much and conserving his energy. But although Leicester are bang in charge of this one, he hasn't had too much to do with it so far.
No, but he never does, Jamie Vardy, and that's when, and I don't think Leicester will worry about that. He had the shot, where the one shot where Martinez had to make the save, and then Barnes follows up, and that's what Jamie Vardy does. He comes in and alive in and around that edge of that box, and that's where he causes problems. And that is where, Mark, he's changed his game, because last year, a couple of seasons ago, you would have probably seen him running all into channels, but less energy and concentrate more of staying in and around the box.
Barnes bringing it infield from the left, goes down, has a look at Michael Oliver, who tells him to get up. McGinn can play a flat pass in towards El Ghazi, running at pace and finding Ollie Watkins edge of the area, angle against him, into the box now. 2 Leicester players quickly there in Castagna and Evans. Watkins eventually crowded out, and in trying to find a teammate could only find Ndidi.
Yeah, he should really have done better there, Ollie. He's one-on-one with Castagna, but good defending from Castagna. He gets back and does ever so well.
Ball's broken dangerously here for Maddison, just inside the Villa half. Looks to find Ricardo on the right. Ricardo up against target. Early ball in. Well, I think he was looking for Vardy, nowhere near finding him. El Mohammadi in the right place, but the ball forwards for Traore is poor. Picked up by Luke Thomas, still just inside the Aston Villa half. Leicester leading here by 2-0. 8 minutes left to go until half-time. Excellent first half showing from the visitors so far. Tielemans in centre field goes back to Soyuncu. Square pass to his centre-back partner, Johnny Evans. Just over halfway into Tielemans. Short pass back to Johnny Evans. Rolls his foot over the ball and goes wide to the right. And Castagna in towards Maddison. Looks for the quick 1-2 with Ricardo. Ricardo's actually retained possession. Douglas Luiz has barged him over. Free kick for Leicester about 10 yards outside the Villa box. Taken quickly. Maddison on the move. Tielemans now finds Ricardo, gets to the byline, gets the cross in. Douglas Luiz is there, and Targett has prevented it going behind for the corner. His clearance, though, is straight down the throat of Johnny Evans, who finds Castagna, and Leicester have it back inside their own half.
Yeah, it's just little things like that. The quick free kick from Leicester there. They're much sharper and much quicker than Aston Villa at the moment. So I think Dean Smith wants his team to get in only 2-0 down at the moment, because then he can make maybe a few changes, or maybe tactically sort a few things out, because at the moment they're getting overrun in all positions on the pitch so far.
Well, whoever scored first today would have been confident of going on to keep hold of the 3 points. Villa and Leicester have dropped the fewest points from winning positions this season. Only 3 of them slipping through their grasp after they've got their noses in front, and Leicester have more than just their noses in front, leading 2-0 with 6 minutes of normal time in the first half left to play. Chalha Soyuncu unopposed, just inside his own half, infield to Ndidi. He goes backwards to Johnny Evans, midway inside the Leicester half. Flat pass from him into the feet of Barnes, who rolled away from the challenge of Traore. And it was Thomas, in fact, who went over. Free kick for Leicester by the centre circle, taken by Ndidi, who feeds Johnny Evans. Evans advancing and playing it wide to the right, where Castagna thought about making the cross. Goes back to Ndidi. Still centre field for Leicester. And Evans and Tielemans can just pass the ball between them inside the Villa half without anyone coming to close them down. It's a bit too easy for Leicester to just knock the ball around there, about 30 yards outside of the Villa goal, and are still able to just knock it around, and eventually Targett comes across to close down Castagna, and it's a corner for Leicester. But that was too easy, Clinton.
You're spot on. There's no one within 5 yards of any Leicester player, and it's easy. You've got to credit Leicester. The movement is brilliant. They move the ball ever so well, 1 and 2 touch. But Dean Smith, he won't be happy with this. This game could be over in the first half because of the 2 goals they conceded, and they haven't started yet. Can't start football matches like that against good teams like Leicester, and that's the problem at this precise moment.
Clinton Morrison with us at 5 Live's Premier League Sunday. We've still got Arsenal, Manchester City and Manchester United against Newcastle United. Newcastle maybe glancing a little bit over their shoulders after that win for Fulham, which could keep the relegation battle interesting in the latter stages of the season. Here is Maddison, and that's a schoolboy error because it was a short corner taken, and Thomas played it back to Maddison, who was offside.
Yeah, I don't think they'll be a little bit looking over. They'll be hugely looking over their shoulder at the moment, Newcastle, and as well all the other teams that are just above them at this precise moment, because it's a big result for Fulham last night against Sheffield United.
People already looking at the final day of the season when it's Newcastle against Fulham.
They are, yeah, they are. That has come up a few times when I've had conversations. I think Newcastle missing Callum Wilson's a huge blow. Him being out for 6 to 8 weeks is huge for them.
And a couple of teams who will also maybe getting a bit twitchy are Crystal Palace and Brighton and Hove Albion, and those two are in action tomorrow night. Full commentary for you on 5 Live, and that will follow after the Monday Night Club. Mark Chapman with Micah Richards, Chris Sutton and Rory Smith from 7 o'clock tomorrow. Here at Villa Park with 41 minutes played, it's Aston Villa 0, Leicester City 2, and Villa a bit fortunate that it is still only 2-0 to Leicester. They've got themselves a free kick here just inside the Leicester half, which Barkley will leave for Matt Targett to take. Bertrand Traore comes short to give him the option, but Targett tells him to go away. And Matt Targett still just instructing some of his teammates about the position to get into before he delivers this free kick. Looks like he's going to go towards the edge of the area. That's where there's a congregation of claret and blue players, plenty of Leicester bodies back there as well. Targett still delaying. Now he does clip it towards the edge of the penalty area. Ndidi underneath it for Leicester, not much distance on his clearance, bounces around the D of the box. It's bounced favourably for Leicester, and Maddison fires it quickly up to Jamie Vardy, who tried to turn and take the ball in his stride, unable to do so, and it rebounds favourably for Villa, who send it long upfield. Ball's broken for Tielemans, though, just outside his own box, and quickly in towards Barnes. Barnes, who fancies his chances running at this Villa backline, has instead gone to release Vardy in the left channel for Leicester. He's got company from Ezri Konsa, rolls away from him, offloads to Maddison, 25 yards from goal. Early ball in towards Castagna at the far post. Important header from Matt Targett to clear away for Aston Villa. Now it's launched towards Ollie Watkins up against Soyuncu, and the ball has rebounded off Soyuncu and collected by Luke Thomas. 2.5 minutes to go until the break, and Leicester leading by 2-0. Clinton Morrison.
Yes, every second balls Leicester are getting at the moment. They're quicker to everything, and Aston Villa are not quicker. That ball up to Watkins, Ollie Watkins there, it's difficult. He's got 3 men around him, and you're playing balls up to him. It's difficult. You've got to go and get up and support him.
Earlier on today, West Ham beat Tottenham Hotspur by 2-1. Leicester at the moment set to move second in the table, and to within, in inverted commas, 7 points of Manchester City. John McGinn in centre field for Aston Villa exchanges passes with Barkley and then goes crossfield to Targett, who controls it nicely and goes down the line to El Ghazi. As soon as he's in possession, though, Castagna quickly snapping at his heels, and he sticks a boot out to pop it out for a throw to Villa level with the Leicester 6-yard box. Targett has possession now. Ricardo again quickly onto him, and Targett will accept the gift of a throw. 1.5 minutes to go in the first half. Hurls it in towards Watkins, who goes back to Barkley. Flick from him to find Targett. His ball in is disappointing and easily cleared by Evans. Maddison's lost possession, though, just outside his own box, and Barkley has fed El Ghazi. Nice footwork from him, tries to stand the ball up towards the two Villa players in the 6-yard box. Can't clear Evans, though, and it's behind for a corner.
Yeah, it's good feet from El Ghazi, though. He moved the ball ever so well when he was trying to make that half a space to get the ball into the box, but it's good, strong defending from Johnny Evans.
So we're into the final minute of normal time at the end of the first half. Leicester City leading Aston Villa by 2-0, and very good value for that lead as well. Barkley, hands on his hips, waits a few seconds before now delivering the corner. In Swigger, Schmeichel thought about coming, then decided against it. Evans helps to clear it away. Mings has kept it alive for Villa. That's a lovely pass across to Barkley. What looked like a lovely pass, but the spin has taken it behind for a corner to Aston Villa. Got a touch of Leicester player, which is why Barkley was happy to watch it drift behind. Barkley takes this corner. It's another tricky one. Schmeichel comes and actually punches ahead of his own player as Wilfred Ndidi was almost blocking his path towards the ball. Douglas Luiz swings a boot at it from wide on the right, and there's just the one additional minute at the end of this first half. Barkley edge of the area, left side for Villa. 3 Leicester players across there to deal with him, though, and he can't find a teammate with his ball in, and that's been a noticeable difference, really. As soon as Villa are in possession in a dangerous area, Leicester are quickly onto them. It's been too easy at the other end. Yeah,
he should have dared just crossed it in straight away. He probably heard there was a minute to go, and he waited and he tried to beat the guy and attracted 3 Leicester players out to him. But that's how Leicester do. They hunt in packs, and they've been brilliant so far in this first half. Excellent showing from Leicester City, who are set to go in 2-0 ahead at half-time here at Villa Park. Here's Mings for Villa, plays it to Targett, and Targett just about keeps it in by the left touchline, but again Villa forced backwards. Douglas Luiz in the centre circle for them, squares it to El Mohammadi. El Mohammadi, early ball towards McGinn. McGinn trying to find Traore on the right, and that is out for a throw, and that will probably do for the first half, and a job very well done from Brendan Rodgers' perspective. His side 4-1 winners here last season, and bang in charge of this one as Michael Oliver blows the whistle for half-time. And as I was saying just a few seconds ago, Clinton, Leicester City, very good value for this 2-0 lead. Yeah, thoroughly deserve it. Been the better team, started on the front foot. Aston Villa couldn't get going. And once they got the first goal, you just thought it was a matter of time till they got the second goal. And Villa, it kind of huffed and puffed without creating any clear-cut chances so far in the first half. So Dean Smith will be disappointed, but Brendan Rodgers will be really happy with that performance. So half-time here at Villa Park then, Steve. It is Aston Villa 0, Leicester City 2.
85058 at 5 Live Sport. Kyle says, what a dominant start from Leicester City. Brilliant to watch this season. I don't think Manchester City will slip up, but if they do, Leicester are showing we could have a title race yet. Irresistible, Clinton Morrison.
Yeah, they've been excellent, and I totally agree with that message there. I think Leicester are outstanding at the moment, and you got to credit Brendan Rodgers, Steve. I've said it many a times. He's one of the best managers for me. The job he's doing here at Leicester, they all know their jobs. You got Ricardo and Castagna, two right backs playing in that position, but they've caused all kind of problems down that side. So everyone could say maybe should someone like Albrighton or Under play there, but Ricardo's been excellent there so far. So you must give huge credit to Brendan Rodgers.
I don't know if you'll agree with these or not. Ross, as a starting 11, Villa could probably be 7th or 8th. There's a squad, they're mid-table at best, no quality beyond the starting lineup. Rob says this is exactly what happens when a team is wholly reliant on one player. I predict 0 points for Villa for the next few games until Jack Grealish is back. I mean, that might be slightly extreme, but we did say it was a time for someone to put their hand up, and we've not seen that yet.
No, I think it's slightly extreme. There's still a lot of more talented players in this Aston Villa team, but you have to realise Jack Grealish is one of the best in the Premier League at this precise moment. The things he can do, and it is a game like this where they are missing him because it's flat and it needs a lift from someone, and he's usually that person who can give you that lift and go make things happen. So at this precise moment, they definitely are going to be missing Jack Grealish, but I still think they'll pick up points without Jack Grealish. But anyone missing Jack Grealish, I don't care who you are, whatever team in the world, you will miss Jack Grealish because he's a superstar.
Clinton, Mark, thank you very much for the time being. Aston Villa 0, Leicester City 2 at the break at Villa Park. Earlier, West Ham moved into the top 4 with a 2-1 victory over Tottenham Hotspur. We'll get reaction to that shortly. We'll also bring you the latest on Tiger Roll, the 2-times Grand National winner who is running as we speak. Big day of sport today. Big day of news tomorrow on 5 Live. Boris Johnson is going to give his roadmap out of lockdown statement to Parliament for England. Chris Warburton and Rachel Burden on breakfast tomorrow. We'll cover that, and we'll be covering it all day, right through until Tony and Anna on Drive and beyond. Of course, the devolved nations can set their own rules, and for example, I know Scotland are hoping to do that next Friday. So definitely a very, very important day to be with us on 5 Live. As is today, we've got Arsenal, Manchester City to come. We'll make our first trip to the Emirates after Stuart Clarkson.
Listen on BBC Sounds. This is BBC Radio 5 Live.
Around 1 in 3 of all adults in the UK have now had their first dose of a coronavirus vaccine. The government says every adult will be offered a jab by the end of July, a month earlier than previously expected, and says it has enough supplies to meet the target. The medical director of NHS England is Professor Stephen Powis.
What's critical, of course, is that as many people as possible are vaccinated, because the more who are vaccinated, the more individuals are protected and the more society as a whole is protected. So for all those reasons, I encourage everybody to come forward when you get that invite and get your jab as soon as possible.
Boris Johnson hopes the progress with vaccination will allow a further easing of lockdown rules. He'll announce more details tomorrow, as Steve was just saying. Ministers have already said they aim to reopen schools by the 8th of March. There's also expected to be an easing of restrictions on social contacts outdoors between people from different households. From tonight, hauliers who've spent less than 48 hours in the UK won't need to have a coronavirus test when they go back across the Channel to France. They'll just need paperwork to prove the length of their stay. Crowds have attended the funeral in Myanmar of a young woman who was shot during Friday's protest against the military coup. Hundreds of thousands of people have taken part in more demonstrations today. And police are questioning 2 teenage boys arrested on suspicion of kidnap after a car was stolen in Birmingham last night with the owner's 2 children inside. It was then recovered and neither was hurt.
BBC Sounds.
We brought you that in-depth football chat.
Let's get Crouch's 100 goals re-commentated.
Look at this handsome devil. He's bagged 30 this season.
That Crouch Fest.
It's Liam Gallagher.
I thought I was coming for the cheeky little park gig. Got 3,000 people.
And that Louis Theroux story.
Banksy, we went to a QPR game together and we bonded over Peter Crouch.
And now, that Peter Crouch podcast has returned for a brand new series.
We're going to come back stronger. Are you up for that?
That Peter Crouch podcast.
Listen on the BBC Sounds app.
More live Premier League football than anyone else.
5 Live's Premier League Sunday.
With Steve Crossman.
As it stands, Leicester will have 49 points in the Premier League, 7 behind Manchester City, having played a game more. That, though, is assuming they go on to beat Aston Villa. They're 2-0 up at half-time. Harvey Barnes and James Maddison with the goals. We've got second-half commentary to come here on Premier League Sunday on Sports Extra right now. Live commentary of London Irish Bristol Bears. Kick-off is at 3 in that one. It's finished Newport 0, Forest Green Rovers 2 in League 2. So Forest Green moved to within a point of leaders Cambridge United. They've also got 2 games in hand. Despite the defeat, Newport stay in the playoff places, but Exeter can now move above them if they get a draw or better in their game in hand. In Serie A, by the way, it's the Milan derby, so let's mention it. Currently AC Milan 0, Inter 1 at the break. And in the Bundesliga, Damari Gray, of course, on loan from Leicester City, set up an injury time equaliser for Bayer Leverkusen in their 1-1 draw at Augsburg. Back to the racing. News of Tiger Roll. John Hunt.
Not good news either. The dual Grand National winner has just had his first run of the calendar year at Navan Racecourse in a 6-runner Boyne hurdle. The race was steadily run. He seemed to be well in it until turning for home. And the other 5, Steve, just truthfully galloped clean away from him. Indeed, Tiger Roll even struggled to jump the last when he was detached in last place. So where that leaves us now with regard to a repeat bid in the Grand National, well, those plans surely in the air. He was beaten so far, you would have thought that Gordon Elliott would be right up against it to get Tiger Roll back on song for the Cheltenham Festival. And if that's not possible, Aintree, I'm afraid to say, just looks a million miles away as we speak right now. Tiger Roll, a heavy defeat at Navan this afternoon.
Big shock. Thank you very much, John. And Secret Investor also shocked Clan des Obeaux in the previous race that John was bringing us commentary of. The favourite certainly did win at the Australian Open, although it was expected to be a heck of a lot closer than it was. Novak Djokovic continued his dominance at Melbourne Park, overwhelming Daniel Medvedev to win a record-extending 9th men's title.
Championship point to Novak Djokovic to win the Australian Open for a 9th time. Forehand return from him onto the baseline. Djokovic on the attack, coming towards the net. The backhand volley from Djokovic. The lob from Medvedev. The smash from Djokovic to win the Australian Open for a 9th time. And to complete a second hat-trick of titles in Melbourne as he falls onto his back. Now an 18-time Grand Slam champion.
9 in Australia, 18 overall, as Russell Fuller was saying there, 2 behind Roger Federer and Rafael Nadal in the men's record books. Here he is speaking after the match.
It has been definitely one of the emotionally most challenging Grand Slams that I've ever had with everything that was happening, injury and off-the-court stuff, quarantines, and has been, at least to say, a roller coaster ride in the last, 4 weeks. Of course, I'm not the only one that has experienced that. Talking about quarantine, I can't complain. I had it probably the best that I could possibly have comparing to the other players. Some of them that had to stay 15, 20 days without exiting the room and training. I know there's been a lot of speculations, people questioning whether I'm injured, how can I recover so quickly, it's impossible to do that. I get it. Look, everyone is entitled on their own, for their own opinion. Everybody has the freedom and the right to say what they want and criticize others. I just felt like it was a bit unfair at times, but it's not first nor the last time.
Novak Djokovic speaking after his 18th Grand Slam victory today. Back to the football in the early kick-off. West Ham moved into the top 4 of the Premier League with a 2-1 victory over Tottenham Hotspur. Mikel Antonio and Jesse Lingard got the goals. David Moyes has been telling Jonathan Pearce there's more to come from his side.
Today we felt like a big task for us. I see Tottenham as one of the top sides, and we're getting talked about winning the league only a couple of months ago, and they've got fantastic players and a great squad. So for us to get a result today and keep our momentum going is very good.
You're in the top 4 on merit. Do you look at that and say, right, we're there now to the end of the season? Do you go that far? How do you do it now? How do you view things now, David?
Well, I've actually just said to them, I feel as if there's a half job done at the moment. We've done half a job, and I don't think we've played. I think we can play much better. That's the bit of what I'm saying. I'm looking forward to when we hit top gear. I don't think we've hit top gear yet. I think we've got another couple of gears to go. But I've got to say, when we're not in top gear, the players find a way of trying to get parts of the game or wrestle bits of the games off the opposition. And the players have done a brilliant job. They really have.
Spurs feel a long way from top gear at the moment, don't they, after that result? 9 points away from the Champions League places. Here's Jose Mourinho.
After they went 2-0 up, do you think then you did enough for the remainder of the game to deserve a point here today?
I think we did.
Yeah.
I think we did. Losing to 1-0 at half time, you have to lift the players and you have to try to prepare the players to play a different way in the second half, which we did. You come to the second half and the first thing that happened is that amazing, ridiculous goal. And then it's even harder.
Looking at the league table, it doesn't look great, does it, in black and white where you are? How do you feel about things?
No, I feel that we are not in the position in relation to our potential. We should be in a much better position. To think about top 4 and the Champions League spot is getting, of course, very difficult. Mathematically, it's still there, but it's very difficult.
Piece of news from the Championship as well today. Jonathan Woodgate will remain in charge of Bournemouth until the end of the season. The club chief executive, Neil Blake, says they believe Woodgate is the best candidate to lead the team for the final 15 games. Of course, Thierry Henry, amongst others, had been linked with the job. Rangers start the day 15 points clear at the top of the Scottish Premiership with 9 more games remaining. They welcome Dundee United to Ibrox, and Celtic play Ross County. Let's bring in Roddy Forsyth, who'll be keeping us up to date with both of those games. We're getting to the stage, I think, Roddy, where it's almost more interesting what the other teams are doing, and they both have a lot to play for.
Yes, indeed. But, of course, as you were saying, Rangers closing in on what looks like a certain title. Their fans are counting it down. That would be their first title in 10 years, remember, and 55th overall. Stephen Gerrard's players need 4 victories, assuming Celtic win their next 3, and that would take them to a potential title clincher in the Old Firm derby at Celtic Park at the end of next month. The script is just prepared, isn't it? Dundee United, though, can't be taken for granted. They went 8 games without a win, but they've beaten Ross County and Livingston, their League Cup finalists, next weekend, remember, in their last 2 games. Rangers make 4 changes. James Tavernier's out for some time, and the Ibrox captain would probably have been replaced by Nathan Patterson. But Patterson is one of the 5 so-called COVIDiots who went to a party last weekend and whose Rangers careers just well might be over. So that was a big error of judgment in any regard. As you say, though, the bottom of the table is looking very interesting at the moment, and Ross County fighting for their survival against Celtic later. But first of all, Rangers versus Dundee and Ibrox, and they are 4 minutes into the game. It's still scoreless.
Roddy, thank you very much. The second commentary of this Premier League Sunday is Arsenal-Manchester City. Pep Guardiola's side looking to extend that amazing winning run to 18 matches. Our correspondent John Murray will be commentating at the Emirates. Good afternoon, John.
Good afternoon, Steve.
I mean, 18 matches in any season, but especially this season.
Yeah, it's a remarkable run, isn't it, to be able to be that consistent in what is the season of inconsistency. So you have to give them great credit for that, particularly the fact that they've missed large chunks without Sergio Aguero, very large chunks, and Kevin De Bruyne has been missing recently, although he returned as a substitute on Wednesday night, might be back in the team today.
There isn't quite the guarantee of fun that we had when we were covering Arsenal Leeds United a week ago, but there's plenty of reasons to be positive.
Yes, I agree with you, particularly if they play as they did before the Leeds fight back started. But they were a different team, and as we said this time last week, or at least after the match, they look a completely different proposition with Aubameyang in that sort of form. But I know that he missed a lot of chances against Benfica in the Europa League on Thursday night. But I thought it was interesting, didn't you, that Mikel Arteta went with exactly the same starting lineup in the Europa League. So no changes for Europe for him. So I think that was quite a statement in that he felt that he'd found the right blend. That's what I took from that. So I'm not anticipating too many changes for this match against Guardiola, his big mate, and Manchester City.
That's exactly what I thought, and I suppose it's the question of whether or not he feels that even though he has a blueprint, Manchester City are the best opponents to try it at this stage.
Well, if you're going to find out if it works, try it against the best. Why not? And I think he'd be looking for a little more from Odegaard, who I know played well again on Thursday night. And Smith Rowe getting used to that position on the left-hand side. Thought Saka did well again in both matches. He's a real prospect. And Ceballos as well in central midfield, I felt really brought something. So they've got Aubameyang back, and they've got Ceballos back in that type of form. That's a big thing for Arsenal, and they know now, Arsenal, if they can win this, they'll go above Tottenham in the table.
Yeah, absolutely, and it should be a very, very exciting game. John, thank you very much. That's our correspondent John Murray at the Emirates. We've got full commentary to come with John and Karen Carney once we are done with the team who are second in the Premier League table, or are going second in the Premier League table, and that, of course, is Leicester City. A dominant first half for them at Villa Park. They lead 2-0. Gareth Southgate, Clinton Morrison had lots of choices of where to be today. I think he's chosen right.
Yeah, definitely. There's a lot of talented English players on this football pitch, and he definitely has chosen right. 2 of them have scored today, in Harvey Barnes and obviously James Maddison. So, yeah, there's a few on the Aston Villa that will want to hopefully impress him in the second half. But he has chosen, and it's been a good first half, in particularly from Leicester.
No Jack Grealish, but Dean Smith will not accept no response from his side in the second half. Clinton's alongside Mark Scott.
Thanks very much, Steve. And one thing that I noticed is Aston Villa's players were out a good 2 or 3 minutes before the Leicester players, which is normally a telltale sign, Clinton, that the manager has given them a bit of a rocket.
Yeah, basically, you've not been good enough. Over to you to put it right in the second half. I've told you what I think we need to do to win this football match, or get back into this football match. So go out there and show me in the second half.
Brendan Rodgers having a word with Harvey Barnes, who's arguably been the most impressive performer for Leicester in an all-round good performance so far. And Barnes taking the words on board as Leicester get ready to kick off this second half, then leading by 2-0, and excellent value for that advantage as well. James Maddison inside the centre circle, waits to recommence play. Michael Oliver blows his whistle, and we are back underway. Tielemans swings a long ball to the left. Barnes rises up against El Mohammadi, can't get there though, and it goes out for a Villa throw. So Villa looking like this: Martinez in goal, Target, Mings, Concert and El Mohammadi the back four, McGinn and Douglas Luiz behind Ross Barkley, with Bertrand Traore and Anwar El Ghazi either side of Ollie Watkins. Just in case you hadn't heard, no Jack Grealish today because of injury. Leicester with Schmeichel in goal, Thomas, Soyuncu, Evans and Castagna at the back, Tielemans, Maddison and Ndidi, with Castagna and Barnes either side of Jamie Vardy, and the goals coming from James Maddison and Harvey Barnes. Here's Ndidi in the centre circle, rolls it quickly to Maddison, slightly left of centre, just ran away from James Maddison, which allowed Bertrand Traore to take it off his toes and send it back to Emi Martinez. He's quickly closed down by Jamie Vardy, and now Mings has got the ball. Vardy was closing him down once again, and Villa trying to play the ball out from the back themselves. Douglas Luiz does just that to find Mings, who advances to midway inside his own half. Early ball towards El Ghazi, who's carried the ball nicely, but then his pass is poor and it rolls through to Kasper Schmeichel.
Yeah, he should be doing better there. He's attracted the two defenders to him, and Ollie Watkins makes a good run, and in the end it's a poor ball, and Kasper Schmeichel does well to clear it.
A lot of Villa's success this season could actually be put down to their excellent defence. They came into this game with only Manchester City having conceded fewer goals than Villa this season, but they have looked far from watertight so far this afternoon. Although, do you just have to give Leicester credit for being, as I think Steve said earlier, pretty irresistible?
Yeah, you have to give Leicester. Leicester can do this to any teams. They're so brilliant going forward. They're one of the best teams going forward, so it can happen for sure.
Not much happening at the moment, so let's get an update on a busy day of racing from John Hunt, who's at Newbury.
Mark, the latest race, the Game Spirit Chase, has just been won by a specialist two-miler called So Royal, trained by Alan King and ridden by Daryl Jacob. But the story out of this race will be the phenomenal run in second place of Champ. Champ is a Cheltenham Gold Cup horse in the making, running over a short that looks too far short of his best, but he ran an absolute cracker. Champ will head to Cheltenham then as a real contender for the Gold Cup.
And you join us here with Bertrand Traore having pulled a goal back for Aston Villa. There's a spat inside the 6-yard box because Kasper Schmeichel feels that Bertrand Traore was a bit too aggressive in his challenge, and Schmeichel is making that point. The goal stands as things stand. Michael Oliver saw nothing wrong with it. David Coote is the VAR who will double check if there was any infringement, but Aston Villa from out of nothing are back in this game through Bertrand Traore. Clinton Morrison.
Yeah, they are. I don't understand what Kasper Schmeichel's arguing about. I think it's good play from Aston Villa. Target does well, they don't deal with it. And Traore scores, and then Schmeichel's leaning is obviously on top of him and takes ages to get up, and probably Traore wants him to get off him. But it's a well worked goal from Aston Villa, and it's game on now. They're back in it, and that's what Dean Smith would have said. Score early in the second half, and we're back in this game.
Bertrand Traore with his 6th goal of the season, and Leicester will be wondering how that has come about, given how much they appeared to be in control and cruising. All of a sudden it's a 1-goal game, and what a shot in the arm that is for Aston Villa. Barnes on the left-hand side, closed down by El Mohammadi, and out it goes for a Leicester City throw, which is taken by Luke Thomas. Goes back to halfway, Chaha Soyuncu back to Johnny Evans. Bit of a shock to the system that for Leicester, who did really appear in cruise control.
Yeah, they were in cruise control, but they knew there was going to be a response as well. You knew there would be a response, and there was a response from Aston Villa, and you saw when it went in, Brendan Rodgers was disappointed.
Leicester now having to defend again with Ollie Watkins on the left side for Villa. Takes the throw out of the challenge by Castagna, and a bit more of a spring in the Villa step, as you'd expect after scoring that goal through Bertrand Traore. Aston Villa 1, Leicester City 2 early in the second half. Kasper Schmeichel has had nothing really to do apart from pick up the ball from the back of his net as Brendan Rodgers, arms folded, just rocks from side to side at the edge of his technical area, and then hangs his head as the ball is sent straight out of play by Schmeichel, and Villa have themselves a throw halfway inside the Leicester half. They looked so assured and so confident, somewhat losing their way, but Barnes knows his way towards goal here and has carried the ball a good 40 yards before he's stopped illegally by Douglas Luiz, who picks up a yellow card for the deliberate foul.
Yeah, El Mohammadi's having a hard afternoon with Harvey Barnes. Douglas Luiz has to come across, and they can't contain him at the moment. He's been brilliant so far.
So it's a free kick then for Leicester City, and a bit like early on in the first half, they could do with a period of possession just to steady themselves after a flurry from Villa at the start of this second half, which has seen them get back into the game. Villa 1, Leicester 2, 5 minutes gone in the second half. Maddison with this free kick, good one as well, and nobody in a Leicester shirt gambled. It was floated towards the corner of the 6-yard box. Looked at first glance like it would have been one to attack really, but no one did.
Yeah, it was a good ball. You put it into an area where you're saying go and attack me, but no one was.
So here is Mings inside his own area, takes the short pass from Emi Martinez, goes back to his keeper. Martinez back to Mings, who's now advanced a bit more, launches it long upfield, looking for Watkins, who's chasing on the left-hand side. Always felt that he was offside, and now the flag goes up.
Yeah, I think Bertrand Traore made a better run. If Tyrone Mings could have seen him, he made a run from out to in, and he'd just gone off the back of Sayonchai, but he didn't see that pass.
So Leicester City, who have been so strong away from home this season, only Manchester United picking up more points on the road than Brendan Rodgers' side, still ahead but pegged back. Looked like they could run away with this game, but instead Villa have hope, now trailing by 2-1. Up towards Jamie Vardy, who can't do anything to prevent Tyrone Mings winning the header, and Villa then see the ball go out for a Leicester throw, which will be taken over on the far side by Timothy Castagna. Castagna waits for someone to give him an option, and is still waiting for someone to give him an option. Midway inside the Villa half, goes short to Maddison. Looked like that might have been a foul throw. Michael Oliver was happy enough with it. It goes back to Tielemans, it to Ricardo. Now Maddison, big crossfield switch from him from right to left, controlled nicely by Barnes, just outside the Villa area by the byline. Goes into the box now. Edge of the area is Ricardo. Back heel towards Tielemans. Thought about having a go. closed down by Douglas Luiz. Now it's Maddison, all a bit congested just outside the Villa box. Nice give and go between him and Ricardo, and then Maddison, as he tries to have a go at goal, looks like he might have stubbed his foot. He's rolled over and is on his back. In the meantime, though, Villa coming forwards with Watkins on the right, makes his way towards the edge of the area, looks for some support now, goes back to Ross Barkley. Barkley rolls his foot over it by the D, and then his pass is in between both El Ghazi and McGinn. Villa kept it alive, though. Target back to Barkley. Leicester have got plenty of bodies back. James Maddison, meanwhile, is still down just outside the Aston Villa penalty area and is now up, but is hobbling and only walking very gingerly as Barnes brings it forwards for Leicester now. Up against El Mohammadi. Maddison still looks like he's struggling, but is trying to make his way into the area. Barnes opts to go to Ricardo instead. 20 yards out from goal, central area. Tielemans fancies a pop, and Martinez gets his body behind it and makes the gather. And now James Maddison does go down, so that the Leicester medical staff can come on and give him some treatment.
Yeah, the second half's been good, Mark. It's been end to end. The first half was all about Leicester. Aston Villa have come back into this game in the second half really well so far.
Just seen a replay of what happened to James Maddison. He jammed his foot on the ball as Douglas Luiz made the challenge. So it wasn't a tackle from Douglas Luiz, it was the contact that Maddison made with the ball, and the fact that Douglas Luiz blocked it that has left him needing some attention to his foot and ankle area.
Yeah, when you go and have a shot and Douglas Luiz blocks it, it just rocks your ankle, so your ankle's not, because you combine it together with the ball and hitting Douglas Luiz's foot, he's probably just rocked it, and that's why he's jarred it a little bit, but I'm sure he'll be fine to continue.
Maddison opening the scoring here this afternoon. Harvey Barnes made it 2-0, and then the goal early in the second half from Bertrand Traoré, bringing Villa back into it. 10 minutes gone in the second half. Aston Villa 1, Leicester City 2 on 5 Live's Premier League Sunday. Don't forget, we'll have commentary from Arsenal against Manchester City with John Murray and Karen Carney, and then Manchester United against Newcastle United. Seb Hutchinson and Stephen Warnock, your commentary team for that. And following that match, 6:06, Robbie Savage and Chris Sutton from 9 o'clock. There was a 3 o'clock kickoff in the Scottish Premiership, Rangers against Dundee United, and Roddy Forsyth is at Ibrox for us.
Rangers 0, Dundee United 0, 18 minutes gone, and Rangers are lucky in some respects not to be 2 goals down. Their goalkeeper Alan McGregor having to make last-ditch saves one-on-one against Lawrence Shankland, who's in line for a Scotland call-up, and also against Aperi just a few moments ago, once again when the Rangers defence was completely exposed. So this isn't going the way that most pundits would have expected. Rangers 0, Dundee United 0.
Rangers back in domestic action after that crazy Europa League game against Antwerp on Thursday. A win would move them 18 points clear of Celtic, with Neil Lennon's side at Ross County later on this evening. Here at Villa Park, as the floodlights come on amid the gloom over the Doug Ellis stand on the far side from us, it's collected by Tielemans just inside the Leicester half. Leicester leading 2-1, but Brendan Rodgers, I wouldn't say necessarily concerned, maybe a bit perplexed as to how, with almost an hour gone, Villa are still in this game, rather than his side having the cigar out already. Yeah,
and Douglas Luiz needs to be careful. He's already been booked. He was just late there on Maddison, so he don't want his team to go down to 10 men. He just has to be a bit careful. And I've just seen Dean Smith probably send out Morgan Sanson to warm up, and Trezeguet, so he might make changes in the next 10 minutes or so, Mark.
So Tielemans has it just inside the Aston Villa half, goes all the way back to Johnny Evans. Now it's Soyuncu. Here's Thomas, tight to the left touchline, works it in field to Harvey Barnes. He turns and goes and bursts at a couple of Villa players. Now it's Maddison, centre field, wide it goes to Ricardo just outside the box, tried to play it through to Castagna, too much on the pass, which allows Tyrone Mings to intercept and run it clear for Villa. Yeah, good defending. He read it ever so well there, Tyrone Mings. He read it and then it came out. He's so quick and strong that he just burst past Castagna and done well to win the throw-in. It's Clinton Morrison, former Republic of Ireland international, former Birmingham player, of course, so he's enjoying the fact that he's not getting any jip from Villa fans behind closed doors this afternoon, of course. Yeah, definitely, but you still miss the fans, because I did like to get the jip from the Villa fans. It was always good humour, so you do miss the fans not being in the stadium, but hopefully not too long till they're back in the stadiums. Yeah, fingers crossed, as the ball goes out for a throw to Leicester. which is halfway inside the Aston Villa half. I wouldn't say Leicester have lost their way, but they are nowhere near as dominant as they were in the first half. And I don't think that's necessarily too much to do with what Villa are doing. Leicester do just seem to have gone off the boil somewhat.
Yeah, I agree with you. They have, but I feel you have to give credit to Aston Villa, because in the second half they've been much better.
And Barnes chasing one through the centre here. He's been clipped, and it's going to be a yellow card as Leicester complain that Barnes would have been through on goal, and it was the denial of a clear goal-scoring opportunity. Michael Oliver has decided it wasn't, so it will only be a yellow card for the challenge by El Mohammadi.
Sorry to interrupt, Mark. I think the reason why it wouldn't have been a red card is Mings was coming back in contact, and also his touch went through to Martinez.
Yeah, it was a bright idea from Barnes to just use his back heel to take the ball in mid-flight and clip it over the top of El Mohammadi so he could chase after it, but very unclear whether he would have got there in time anyway. So it will be a free kick and a yellow card for El Mohammadi, and Tielemans and Maddison both interested in this free kick. Almost an hour played at Villa Park. Leicester leading by 2-1. Maddison, who's already got 1 goal this afternoon, has shooed Tielemans away, so he will take this free kick, probably about 10 yards outside the Aston Villa penalty area. And Leicester trying to infiltrate that Villa wall. Got Ndidi and Ricardo shielding just in front of the Villa wall. Maddison goes for goal. It was on target. Emi Martinez across and pops it behind for the corner.
Yeah, I think he could have caught that one there. He whipped it ever so well, but I think Martinez I think once he gets there, yeah, he could have caught that definitely, Mark. So I think he even looked after and said it was a mistake. He should really have caught that.
One for the cameras, I think, is
definitely
turn,
spectacular. One for the cameras. I always say that goalkeepers always like to make it look difficult.
You never like to do that, to try and perform for the cameras?
Yeah, all my goals were for the cameras, for sure.
Very photogenic as well, Clinton. So, corner for Leicester after that save by Martinez. A needless corner to concede, as Clinton was saying. Could easily have caught it, the keeper didn't, so in comes this resulting corner from Maddison. Will it be costly? It comes to Barnes inside the area. Villa didn't clear it. Barnes thought about having a go at goal, does eventually, and it's a poor effort from him, dribbles well wide of the post.
Yeah, I think Maddison might have to come off, to be fair. He's gone down again on the other side. He must be struggling with his ankle, but then he's got back up again. He's telling the physio to come on, so he could be struggling with something here.
Brendan Rodgers patrols his technical area as he waits to see the result of this. And earlier on, it's worth mentioning, it was his foot that he was having treatment on, and now he seems to be holding his side a bit more.
Yeah, he is holding his side. Unless it's when he's whipped that corner in or whipped the free kick, he's felt something on that side when he's whipped it, because yeah, it was his ankle before, and I didn't think his ankle would make him come off, so maybe he's jarred something in his hip kind of area.
Well,
they will not want to miss him, Mark. They will not want to lose him, sorry, and it would be a big blow if they do lose him.
Yeah, I was going to say that James Maddison and Jack Grealish, two of the star attractions to see this afternoon. Grealish ruled out with a leg injury before the game, and James Maddison now receiving some ongoing attention, which makes you think that his race might be run this afternoon. Gives me a chance to let you know, in case you weren't already aware, that Peter Crouch podcast is back for a new series. BBC Sound's the place to head to get your hands on it. Episodes out every Wednesday. The first in Series 5 was called the Milestone episode, where Chris and Tom asked when was Pete Crouch and what he got up to for his 40th over lockdown, which is actually something I've been thinking about too, as I'm hitting that unwelcome milestone in April. You can catch that first episode of Series 5 and the rest of the pod's back catalogue now on BBC Sounds. Just search for that Peter Crouch podcast. Maddison is back on his feet now, which is good to see, and it doesn't appear, and in fact actually Palace Mendy is
he's told him
stripped
to sit
and
back
ready
down.
for action.
He just told him to sit back down. I think the physio came over. They have 2 physios now. One took him over that side, the other one said to Brendan, wait 5 minutes, because he says he's all right to carry on.
So Maddison wants to continue. Mendy is still receiving some instructions, and he's put his jumper back on over his strip, so it doesn't look like he's going to be introduced imminently, but he might want to stay warm because Maddison sort of flitted in and out. Now he is taking his top off again. It's a bit like the hokey cokey at the moment.
They might do it. I think Maddison, the physio must have said to James Maddison, Southgate's here, you better continue playing. And then he's like, all right, I'll give it another 5 minutes. But no, there's no point in risking a long-term injury of James Maddison. So it makes sense to put Mendy on to stiffen up that midfield.
Aston Villa 1, Leicester City 2, 63 minutes played, and there was the opportunity for Jamie Vardy to get Leicester back 2 goals in front, but wide from a pretty tough angle, about 8 yards out.
Yeah, it's good movement from Vardy. I think Konza's looking at Mings to say, should you be covering me? But I think the movement from Vardy's very good, but the shot's always going wide.
So here comes the change, and James Maddison hasn't been able to run off that issue for him, and it does look like it's more of a side problem as opposed to the foot/ankle issue that had him down in the first place not that long ago. And Palace Mendy will come on. Gareth Southgate watches on, having seen Maddison score a fine goal to open the scoring, and obviously that's going to change the dynamic. 2 very different players.
Yeah, definitely. I think Mendy will sit with Ndidi, and Tielemans will be the one who plays further ahead. And he's got the creativity to cause problems as well. Tielemans been outstanding so far this season.
65 minutes played at Villa Park. Villa 1, Leicester City 2. But it's a closer game than we thought it was going to be, based on how the first half panned out, when Brendan Rodgers' side were absolutely dominant and could and perhaps should have been further ahead than the 2-0 lead that they held at the interval. Dean Smith was closer to us as he'd retreated about 10-15 rows back in the stands alongside Craig Shakespeare and John Terry, but has now gone down to pitch side, which Clinton assures me is a sign that all is not well.
Yeah, well, he was there in the first half, and then he's obviously gone back down now, I think, because they must be making a change. They're going to bring on Trezeguet, so he's probably gone down there, giving him his instructions. But he did start the second half. He was up here with John Terry and Shakespeare.
Here's Ndidi, goes back to Mendy in the centre circle. Leicester have it with Johnny Evans, closed down by Ollie Watkins. Watkins can't get onto it though, and it's pumped forward towards Jamie Vardy. Out-jumped by Konsa, breaks in centre field for Mendy, who ushers it back to Evans. Square pass from him to Soyuncu. 25 minutes of the 90 left to play. Leicester heading second in the Premier League and to within 7 points of Manchester City at the summit if they can hold on to this 2-1 advantage. Barnes has El Mohammadi for company by the corner of the Villa area, so he offloads to Tielemans. He goes backwards to Thomas. Better closing down from Villa at the moment, something that they were guilty of not doing in the first half, and they've got possession now with Bertrand Traoré, who brings it up towards the halfway line, up against the challenge of Ndidi. Soyuncu is over there to mop things up and just absolutely boots it out of play, which will give Villa the chance to make this change. Trezeguet is coming on, and it's Anwar El Ghazi who makes way.
Yeah, it's a light-for-light substitution. Trezeguet will bring energy. I think he had an injury not too long ago, so he's slowly but surely getting back up to fitness. But yeah, he'll bring the energy on that left-hand side. And I still think in midfield, Morgan Sanson maybe can come on and be introduced in the next 10 minutes or so.
Rain starting to infiltrate our commentary position here at Villa Park, which is quite impressive given that we are actually under a sizable roof here, so it's being bent round like a Roberto Carlos free kick as it seems to come on to me and Clinton here. Speaking of free kicks, Villa have got one, level with the Leicester box. Villa trailing 2-1 midway through the second half. Five Live's Premier League Sunday, still 2 more Premier League commentaries to come for you. Arsenal, Manchester City, Manchester United against Newcastle United, and 6:06 after that with Robbie and Chris from 9 o'clock. So Barkley is over this free kick for Aston Villa, as I mentioned, level with the Leicester box, wide on the right-hand side. Very congested penalty area for Barkley to try and pick out someone in claret and blue. There's one man in a token Leicester wall. Barkley evades him, and it was a promising ball in as well, and the hit from Douglas Luiz is charged down from outside the area. Target swings it back in again. It's ball that El Mohammadi will collect by the byline, crashes it into a a Leicester player, and it's out for a throw to Villa. Taken short to Barkley on the right-hand side as Villa look at it. He's forced to go backwards to Mings. Mings advances midway inside the Leicester half, rolls it out to the left, where it's collected by Trezeguet. Trezeguet coming infield now, finding Douglas Luiz, centre field. He's worked it to the right-hand side. Bertrand Traoré, certainly an improvement in Villa's productivity in this second half. Bertrand Traoré with a low flat pass, looking for the run round the back of Trezeguet, unable to get there behind for a goal kick to Leicester, which gives us a chance to get the team news from the Emirates from John Murray.
Well, they both make 5 changes from their midweek matches. Arsenal change both of their centre-backs. Murray and Holding play instead of Luiz and Gabriel, who are on the bench. Tierney returns from injury to the starting lineup. El Neni plays instead of Ceballos in central midfield, and Pepe starts with Smith Rowe on the bench. Manchester City, they've got De Bruyne and Gundogan back in the team. Fernandinho plays, Rodri's a substitute. Zinchenko at left back, Cancelo at right back, Walker on the bench. Stones takes the place of Laporte in central defence. Aguero and Jesus both among the substitutes.
Thanks very much, John. John alongside Karen Carney for full commentary of Arsenal Manchester City from the Emirates. Manchester United against Newcastle United rounds off our Premier League Sunday on 5 Live. The first commentary for you has Leicester leading Villa by 2-1 here with just over 20 minutes left to play. Leicester have been on the front foot for the main parts, but you wonder when Brendan Rodgers might decide to just try and shut up shop and see the game out to ensure the 3 points.
Well, he could have put on more of an attacking player, but when Maddison went off, he put on Mendy, so I think he went defensively with that move anyway. He's got players like Under, but I don't think Brendan Rodgers is like that. I just feel he's probably thinking the next goal is important, so let us get the next goal in the game and not Aston Villa.
20 minutes left to play. Villa 1, Leicester 2. Emi Martinez is going to clear a ball from just outside his own area. Long it goes. Up goes Watkins. It's bouncing around in centre field, and it's broken for Barnes now in the centre circle, on the surge as ever. Harvey Barnes, lovely ball through. Vardy, will he get there ahead of the keeper? No, Emi Martinez out. Flag goes up anyway, and Villa quickly on their way up towards the other end. El Mohammadi advancing over halfway. Good watch this now. Villa with renewed hope after that goal early in the second half from the man in possession now, Bertrand Traoré, which made it 2-1 to Leicester. He wanted a foul, doesn't get it, which is let Barnes advance over halfway for Leicester. Plays it infield to Tielemans, about 10 yards outside the Villa box. Offloads to Barnes again. Barnes goes for goal, and I think it would have been an easy gather for Martinez. Instead, though, Konsa got himself in the way, and it goes out for a throw to Leicester level with the Villa box. Let's get an update on Rangers Dundee United from Roddy Forsyth.
Well, 11 minutes out from half-time. It's not going the way Rangers would like it to go. It's still scoreless, but Dundee United have had almost all the big chances. 2 from Louis Perry and 1 from Lorne Shankland. Each of them blocked one-on-one by Alan McGregor. Rangers have had 1 chance from Aribo that was turned away behind for a corner kick at the far end. But as I say, it's not going Rangers' way at the moment. Still scoreless. 88 minutes to go till half-time. Oh, Rangers have just scored with a deflected shot. I think it was Aribo who originally got it. Might have been Hadji who got the deflection. It was Aribo who made the shot. Hadji got a touch to it. And no sooner was I saying that Rangers were not having things going their way than the commentator's curse strikes. It's Rangers 1, Dundee United 0.
I'm sure Rangers fans will be very glad of that particular curse. If they were to win, they would go 18 points clear of Celtic, who are in action later at Ross County. Here at Villa Park, we're inside the final 20 minutes. Leicester on course for the victory that would move them second and within 7 points of Manchester City. And Vardy chasing a ball over the top, and he's onto it. He's out wide on the right. He's got Barnes in the centre. Vardy just overran it, took it behind for the goal kick. Would have been better advised to try to find Harvey Barnes surely there.
Yeah, I think he was running out and Mings was coming back at him, to be fair. It was good recovery from Tyrone Mings, because usually when Vardy's in that position, no one catches him. But it was difficult. He was trying to cut across, and I think he just had that extra touch, and Mings done ever so well.
Well, it's, as I said, a closer game than we anticipated it would be based on the way the match began, with Leicester bang on top and Villa looking very short of ideas. And Dean Smith will be pleased with at least the fight his side have shown after it looked like they were going to be left out of sight by Leicester City when they went in 2-0 down at half-time. Johnny Evans just outside the Foxes area, pings the ball up towards halfway. Vardy tried to offload it, instead it's turned into a decent pass back to himself for Jamie Vardy. Rolls it out to the left, and advancing forwards here is Luke Thomas. Thomas decides to go backwards though to Ndidi. Square pass from him to Mendy, halfway inside the Villa half. Goes forwards to Ricardo. Ricardo has to go back to Mendy, and then his pass back to Mendy once again. Villa with almost everyone back behind the ball now. Johnny Evans, 10 yards over the halfway line for Leicester. Goes back to Soyuncu inside the centre circle for Leicester City, leading here by 2-1. Soyuncu plays it into the path of Thomas. Tight to the left touchline. He's forced backwards by Traoré to Soyuncu once again. Leicester with plenty of possession at the moment. We're going side to side rather than moving forwards.
Yeah, you're right. And you could be right, Mark, because I can see Daniel Marty getting instructions on the sideline. So he's a defender, so they could end up going to 3 at the back.
Here's Barnes looking for what would be surely a killer goal for Leicester. Floated the ball into the area too far ahead of anyone in blue, but it got a touch of a Villa head last, so it will be a corner to Brendan Rodgers' side, as those instructions are still being dispensed to Daniel Amati, so he won't come on for this particular corner. Yuri Tielemans.
Ramsey's coming on though, the midfielder, young boy. Ramsey will come on in midfield, so it won't be Sanson, it'll be Ramsey. I think Sanson's more of a defensive kind of midfielder, he's more of an attacking one.
Yeah, Jacob Ramsey, the 19-year-old, is being readied for a late cameo here. In comes the corner meanwhile for Leicester, and Soyuncu attacking it. Well beaten to it by Konsa. Not sure what Bertrand Traoré was up to there, just outside his own area. He's belted it across to the left side where it's been collected by Barnes. Barnes quickly closed down by Targett. The ball rebounds favourably for Watkins, just inside his own half. And then the rebound has come back to Targett. He sprayed it long upfield towards Trezeguet, takes it in his stride, gets towards the edge of the area, into the box now. Trezeguet looking to get to the byline. Castagna back there helping out his defence and put it behind for a corner to Villa. There's been another goal between Rangers and Dundee United. Roddy Forsyth.
And of course you guessed it's for Rangers. 2-0 now with 8 minutes to go to half-time. It was a tale of the two Ryans. Ryan Kent for Rangers getting a clear shot, but it took a deflection from Ryan Edwards into the net, and suddenly Dundee United are struggling and Rangers look very comfortable. Rangers 2, Dundee United 0.
So Rangers heading 18 points clear of Celtic, who are in action later against Ross County. Here come the changes then. Villa's one is going to be made first, and as Clinton had noted, it's the youngster 19-year-old Jacob Ramsey who is coming on for Villa, and it's Ross Barkley who is withdrawn. Doesn't look too happy about it.
Yeah, but what more? He's given 75 minutes. It hasn't been his day, so he has to make changes. I've seen that a few times when Ross Barkley's coming off. He's never happy. No player's happy, but Dean Smith needs another go. He needs a spark in midfield, so why not bring on Ramsey?
And here comes Daniel Amati for Leicester City, and it's Ricardo who has made way.
Yeah, and they'll just go to a 3 at the back. Amati, Evans and Soyuncu, with Thomas playing left wing back and Castagna playing right wing back. Or if not, Amati will just go to right back and Castagna will play just in front of him. Yeah, which is much more defensive. So that you're right, what we have, we keep from Leicester at this precise moment.
Yeah, looked like they were going to run away with it, but now Brendan Rodgers would just be happy to get his side over the line and get another 3 points away from home in the bag for Leicester, who have this tremendous record on their travels this term. Leading at Villa 2-1 with less than a quarter of an hour of the 90 remaining. Thomas hassling El Mohammadi in the right-back position for Aston Villa, and he felt that he should have won a throw, but Michael Oliver has given it Villa's way instead. So El Mohammadi takes the throw into John McGinn, who's barged from behind by Wilfred Ndidi. Villa take the free kick quickly. Here's Targett. Advances a few yards before playing it short to Trezeguet, who's dropped deep to pick up possession. Now he's over the halfway line. Mendy comes across to block off any further progress. Crossfield to El Mohammadi, just inside the Leicester half. Villa trailing by 2-1. 13 minutes left to play. McGinn with his back to goal. Soyuncu comes across to hassle him, so he goes backwards to Douglas Luiz. Square pass for Ramsey now, who goes further wide And Target, whose delivery is good. Traore up there, couldn't get his head onto it. Goes behind for a goal kick. That was a chance for his and Villa's second.
Yeah, it's a great ball in from Matt Target. But you know what? I think it's great defending from Luke Thomas at the back post, because you think Traore is going to score and he just leans on him and gets his body in between Bertrand Traore and the ball. But great covering, great defending from the youngster Thomas, who's had a really good game this afternoon as well.
Yeah. Mention Leicester have a good recruitment. I saw one of our colleagues, John Bennett, tweeting about the fact that Thomas and Barnes, who enjoyed a really good first half for Leicester on that left-hand side, both came through the Leicester Academy.
They have got a good academy
as well.
Yeah, they have, Mark. I know that for a fact because my son is at Forest Academy, obviously, and we used to play a lot against Leicester and go down there, and they have got a lot of talented players in that Leicester Academy.
Leicester leading 2-1, 12 minutes remaining, and Dean Smith down there in consultation with his coaching staff. It's a closer game than it looked like it was going to be for a long time, but still set to end empty-handed for Aston Villa, and the questions will be about whether they can do it without Jack Grealish, as Barkley comes across in front of us in the dugout area and still looks pretty annoyed, and almost a begrudging fist bump between him and Dean Smith as he goes to take a seat just down in front of us.
No, you're never happy when you come off.
Here's Ollie Watkins. Villa looking for a leveller late on here. Trezeguet going for goal, and well, it almost turned into a handy pass for Ollie Watkins because it wasn't a very well hit shot. In the end, Kasper Schmeichel could make the gather.
Yeah, he should do better, Trezeguet. Watkins plays a good ball out to him, and it kind of like comes inside on his favoured right foot, but there's not enough power in the shot to trouble Kasper Schmeichel.
Aston Villa 1, Leicester City 2, almost into the final 10 minutes, and Clinton's crystal ball has proved to be correct. He was saying that the January signing, Morgan Sanson, might come on, and Villa have got him ready to come on. Ollie Watkins has chased the ball, looks offside, he's into the area, flag has stayed down. I think it will go up any second now, and indeed it does.
This infuriates me, Mark. Put the flag up early. You know what? Someone's going to get a bad injury, and I hope it doesn't happen by playing on. They have to change this rule because it infuriates everyone.
How would you have felt as a striker if that kind of system was going on in your day?
I'd be going mad. VAR, I'd be going mad with it, Mark, because they would have chalked off a lot of my goals because I always played on the defender's shoulders, so I think a lot went in my favour, really and truly.
Maybe it would have added to your tally.
Maybe, but I think it would have at least chalked off at least 30 or 40 more of those goals, that's for sure.
So here at Villa Park, it's Villa 1, Leicester 2. We're into the final 10 minutes now, and Kasper Schmeichel has sent this ball long from just outside of his zone area. Too long for anyone in a blue shirt, though. So it's a throw to Villa, which El Mohammadi will takes a couple of steps before hurling it down the right-hand side. Ollie Watkins wanted a foul, doesn't get one, but Villa do have the throw. And it's taken by El Mohammadi for Bertrand Traore to chase. Got a bit of a buffeting from Soyuncu, which saw the ball rebound off Bertrand Traore and out for a Leicester throw almost by the corner flag.
Yeah, we're still in this though. If you think in the first half it was all over, you thought Leicester were going to go on and comfortably win it. Getting that goal just before half-time just after half-time was crucial for Villa, and they're still in this with about 9 minutes to go plus stoppage time.
Vardy helps on a throw. It goes to the halfway line where it's collected by Mings for Aston Villa. Mings, square pass to Target into the centre circle. John McGinn looks for the crossfield ball to El Mohammadi. El Mohammadi pokes it forwards, looking for Sanson, and it goes behind for a corner, which gives us a chance to go for a quick update from John Hunt.
The big handicap hurdle at Newbury has just been won by Soaring Glory, representing the father-son combination of John Joe O'Neill Sr. and Jr. Too strong for 50 ball, and third place, Edward Stone.
Thanks very much, John. And Villa wait to take this corner then. Bertrand Traore looks like he's tying up his laces as he gets ready to deliver this one. He's sorted that out now and will dispatch this corner. surely towards the 6-yard box area. That's where all the players are situated at the moment. Johnny Evans was one of them, got his head underneath the ball, clears it to 10 yards outside the box, and then the attempted hit comes in from long range, but it's blocked by a cluster of blue shirts. Ramsey goes back to McGinn, central area, 10 yards outside the Leicester box. El Mohammadi whips in a dangerous looking ball. Soyuncu underneath it for Leicester, but the game is starting to be played mainly in the Leicester half now as they drop deep, looking to protect this 2-1 advantage into the final 8 minutes of the 90. Didn't envisage this kind of finish to the game, with Leicester not quite hanging on, but certainly being pushed back by Villa. Tielemans plays it forward so for Barnes in the centre circle now. Vardy delays his run. Now Jamie Vardy up against Mings just outside the area. Vardy going for goal. Mings makes the block behind for a corner.
Yeah, it's good defending, Mings. You know, Vardy's looking for that half a yard to shift it and get his shot away. He does, but Mings matches him and gets the block in. Really good defending from Tyrone Mings.
Corner then for Leicester City, who are in no hurry to take it as they look to see this game out, given a 2-goal lead through goals from Maddison and Barnes. Maddison has had to go off injured. Bertrand Traoré scoring early in the second half for Villa to give them hope, and that is the current scoreline, 2-1 as it comes in from Tielemans. Wasn't the best corner, too deep for anyone in a Leicester shirt, and here goes Trezeguet now for Villa, and away it goes for a free kick to Leicester deep inside their own half. And half-time, I think, in the game between Rangers and Dundee United. Let's get the details from Roddy Forsyth.
Yes, indeed, 2-0 at half-time for Rangers. They were under the cosh for all but 10 minutes of that half. Alan McGregor making 3 big saves to keep parity. And then Yanis Hadji with a little touch from Kamara shot. And after that, Ryan Kent also with a deflection, in his case, off Ryan Edwards. The moral, if you don't score against Rangers when you're ahead, they will punish you. That's what it is at half-time. Rangers 2, Dundee United 0.
Thanks very much, Roddy, here at Villa Park. 2-1 to Leicester City with around about 5 minutes of the 90 left to play. And next up, Arsenal against Manchester City with John Murray and Karen Carney. Seb Hutchinson and Stephen Warnock will bring you full commentary of Manchester United against Newcastle United, and 6:06 with Robbie and Chris from 9 o'clock. And Leicester set to go ahead of Manchester United in the table into second place with the victory they're on course for here, and to within 7 points of leaders Manchester City. Although, of course, Manchester City are in action in a short while at Arsenal. Leicester have a man down here in Soyuncu, just by the D of the Leicester penalty area, so this will eat up a bit more time. Ollie Watkins goes across to try and get him to his feet so that Villa can have as much time as possible to get themselves a leveller. Soyuncu still on the deck at the moment, and Kasper Schmeichel, acting as a minder, comes across and wards Ollie Watkins away as Soyuncu gets to his feet. Kasper Schmeichel picks up the ball and then places it outside of the D of his box, and looks like he'll take a big run up to this before drilling it long upfield. And a gloomy afternoon here at Villa Park, but set to be a very pleasant outcome for Leicester City. Barnes on the left wing shields the ball well, with El Mohammadi coming to close him down. Tried to nutmeg Ahmed El Mohammadi, who shut his legs though and prevented him doing so. The clearance though is picked up by Mendy for Leicester City, who goes short to the feet of Amati. Amati goes back to Soyuncu, in just inside the Leicester half. Pinged ball forwards from Soyuncu, too much on it though, so El Mohammadi can take the throw for Leicester. Quickly finds John McGinn. Hamza Chowdhury readied in the third and final Leicester change of the piece, as Mings plays it to the left side, and Target inside the Leicester half now, backwards of square to McGinn, into the centre circle now, where it's picked up by El Mohammadi. Advances a couple of paces before sending it to Traoré on the right for Villa. Quickly closed down by Thomas, and Thomas still snapping at his heels. Traoré forced back to almost on the halfway line and has to go back into his own half, and Mings, who sweeps it across to the left. Target takes a touch to steady himself and then loops the ball into the area. It's a handy looking ball as well. Sanson underneath it for Villa, but can't find a teammate, and Soyuncu picks up the pass inside the 6-yard box, and it's played forwards to Jamie Vardy, who wants the free kick for a nudge in the back, doesn't get one though, and Sanson has it once again for Villa. Now Traore, chance to run at his man, can't get past Thomas though, and it's out for a throw to Villa level with the Leicester box, and this will give an opportunity for the change to be made. Tielemans off, Chowdhury on, and again that's another defensive-minded substitution.
Yeah, with 3 minutes to go, he don't need to. He's just going to make it nice and tight. In fact, because Villa are dominating at the moment, they're pressing for the equaliser, and Leicester will be very good on the counter-attack with Vardy and Barnes. So it's a sensible substitution. But Thomas again, brilliant defending against Bertrand Traore. He's never let him, apart from the goal, get in at all this afternoon so far.
Throw then for Villa with 2 minutes of the 90 left to play, and Leicester leading by 2-1. Mings in towards Trezeguet, and now Ramsey has it for Villa, picked up by Konsa, who sweeps it to this near side. El Mohammadi into the feet of Bertrand Traore. Villa looking for a late leveller here. They scored late on at Leicester to win the game. Looking for a late one today to get a point from it. Target's header in towards the 6-yard box. It's dangerous, and Kasper Schmeichel comes out. Villa appeal for a penalty. A real cluster of players going for it, but I think tellingly Ollie Watkins wasn't asking for anything.
No, he did well. A target, a good header back into Watkins. He pins Amati in the box, tries to turn him, and there's nothing in it for me. Amati, he doesn't get the ball, but he doesn't make enough contact on Ollie Watkins. So it's a good decision from Mike Oliver in the right position as well.
Free kick for Villa, deep inside their own half. Need to get this long. We've played 89 minutes here at Villa Park. Leicester 2-1 ahead. McGinn, well, that's a loose pass from him. He's seen it charged down by Ndidi, so it's now Mendy in possession for Leicester, but he's lost the ball, and it's dribbled out for a throw to Villa, taken quickly by Traore on the halfway line, goes backwards to El Mohammadi. Leicester happy for Villa to have it inside their own half. Ramsey has now played it forwards to Targett on the left. Targett infield, looking for the give and go with Ollie Watkins. Comes to nothing, but it does go out for a Villa throw, level with the Leicester box. Targett tries to send Ollie Watkins away, unable to do so, and Hamza Chowdhury sticks out a leg to send it clear again. Mings will take this throw when he gets hold of it. In fact, it's going to be Targett who will dispatch it, perhaps winding up for a long one. Goes short instead to Ramsey. Villa have wasted a bit of time here because they haven't got the ball into the Leicester box, and we're almost into stoppage time, of which there will be 5 minutes added on. Traore on the right for Villa, looking for an equaliser. Traore's ball in, is deep. Ollie Watkins arriving at the far post, and it has to be sent behind by Castagna for a corner.
Yeah, they're pushing. Good ball in from Traore. I think it was for Trezeguet at the back post, but good defending from Castagna there. But Villa have been pushing for the last 10 minutes, but Leicester have defended ever so well so far.
Is there going to be a late salvation for Villa, who were very much second best in the first half? Leicester led 2-0 at the break, and it could easily have been more. Instead, though, Villa have the opportunity to try and snatch a point with this corner. And up goes Konsa. Couldn't get his head in it, but it's dropped for McGinn to have a go from 25 yards out. Never got himself over the ball, though, and it's high and behind for a goal kick, which Kasper Schmeichel, I think, was always going to try and take as much time as possible over, and Michael Oliver, wise to that, and his luminous referee's top just kept a watch on him to tell him to get a move on.
Yeah, he's going to waste time, but it's got to be some strike that and technique from John McGinn like that to beat a goalkeeper, Kasper Schmeichel's quality there. He tried one in the first half, and I think some of his teammates there said, just get it back into the box.
Well, Leicester on course for a 9th away win in 13 Premier League matches on the road. It is some away form they are enjoying this season. El Mohammadi just inside his own half, pumps it long, looking for the head of Watkins, which it comes off, but it goes backwards for Villa. Needs to go forwards for them. Here is Sanson, the January signing, trying to make something happen. McGinn faced by 11 Leicester players back behind the ball. Has played it forwards to Targett, who got a header back across towards the 6-yard box. Couldn't find anyone in claret and blue. Breaks for Hamza Chowdhury. Poor pass from him, though. Nowhere near Jamie Vardy. So Mings can pick it up and make his way towards the edge of the box. Mings still going here for Villa. And Targett making a nuisance of himself as well. Comes off Trezeguet and goes behind for a goal kick.
Yeah, they just overplayed there. I think once you get into them positions, put the ball into the box. We're into injury time, and you want to just put the ball in the box and cause all kind of problems for Leicester.
So we have 2.5 minutes of the 5 additional that are signalled left to play. Kasper Schmeichel just brushes some of the turf away at the edge of his 6-yard box before banging his feet against the post and winding up for a long run-up to dispatch this goal kick as far upfield as possible. It's well over the halfway line from Schmeichel, but straight to Mings, whose header is straight to Hamza Chowdhury. He's popped it forwards for Jamie Vardy to chase, and a very blatant shove in the back from Vardy on Konsa gives Villa the free kick, and maybe Villa's last chance to fashion something with less than the 2 minutes of stoppage time left to play.
Yeah, they've sent Tyrone Mings up. I'd have done that about 2 or 3 minutes ago.
Up towards Watkins from Emi Martinez. It has come back into the centre circle for El Mohammadi. His pass to Bertrand Traoré, who used his body well to shield the ball, and Thomas, in trying to win it, has nudged him over, and this will almost certainly be it for Villa. 90 seconds of stoppage time left to play. Free kick for them. Bertrand Traoré will take it. It's midway inside the Leicester half, right of centre as Villa look at it. So Traoré, left-footed, will send an in-swinger into the box. In fact, he's decided not to take it, and it's going to be Ahmed El Mohammadi to deliver. In fact, he's gone short to Bertrand Traoré, and Traoré now tries to put it in. Deflection sees it break to McGinn just outside the area. El Mohammadi now crossing position, edge of the box. Good cross it was as well. They were queuing up at the far post, and Leicester have managed to clear it away. Ramsey short to McGinn. McGinn now pings it in. Up goes Ollie Watkins at the far post. Good header from him. Nearly broke for Mings just inside the box, and hacked away by Ndidi. Leicester under a little bit of pressure late on here from Villa, protecting this 2-1 lead. Leicester City floated in by McGinn. It's broken for Traoré by the edge of the area. Traoré going the long way round, looking to find a teammate. Offloads to El Mohammadi. That's a good ball in, and it was Mings with the header, and loads of Villa players have their hands on their head because they feel that was a good opportunity for Mings to head in an equaliser.
Yeah, it was good play. They kept it alive, Villa, and El Mohammadi puts a good ball in. It's just behind Mings. He's going away from goal, and it's difficult to generate that much power, but he at least should be hitting the target there, but it goes wide of Kasper Schmeichel's. But Villa have pushed in the second half, but Leicester have defended well.
Well, the 5 additional minutes are up, and it's a goal kick to Leicester, so you fancy that was the last chance for Aston Villa to take something from this game. Kasper Schmeichel, once he gets this back in play, you fancy Michael Oliver will blow the whistle. But indeed, there goes the full-time whistle, and you'd have to say a well-deserved win for Leicester City in the end, perhaps closer than it should have been given the amount of chances that they created before the break. But the goals from Maddison and Barnes enough for Leicester to win away from home once again. Bertrand Traoré gave Villa hope, but in the end Leicester good value for the points, Clinton Morrison.
Yeah, they were. All the damage was done in the first half. It's hard to concede 2 goals and then come back against a team like Leicester, who are really good defensively and also can counter-attack on you. But credit to Villa, second half, I think Dean Smith got a response, but it was too little too late. All the damage was done in the first half.
Cheers, Clinton. So Leicester moves second in the table, 7 points behind Manchester City. Now it's finished here. Aston Villa 1, Leicester City 2.